From Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio, it is opening night as the Xenia Scouts begin their 2017 campaign for the Great Lakes Collegiate Baseball League. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. We're going to hear from Gabe in just a moment. The Scouts had a season of unprecedented success in 2016, capturing their first ever Southern Division championship and making it just one game away from an appearance in the Great Lakes League World Series. But the Scouts, with some familiar faces and plenty of new ones, are back in action tonight. As you can see, Bubba Cates out there at home plate, and we are about to get opening night underway. So we'll be right with you. It looks like we're about to do the national anthem, and we wouldn't want to talk through that. Well, actually, it looks like they're doing some kind of red carpet thing, so off to a good start. But, Gabe, what are you looking forward to tonight?
Just a lot of talent out of the Xenia Scouts team. Obviously, we've watched them in practice over the last week. It's tough in summer leagues because you come in with new guys every year. So Coach Bubba Cates, obviously the manager of the year in the Great Lakes League last summer, he's got an all-new team to work with. 3 returners in Jorge Lozano and Kyle Bruner and Donald Ring behind the plate. Bruner will be coming out of the bullpen, and now the national anthem, maybe? Or are we still waiting?
It's hard to tell. But speaking of what you're saying, Gabe, I think that the familiar faces are going to help a lot. You got a guy like Jorge Lozano, who's our starting pitcher tonight, one of the great pitchers in the league last year, an all-star. You got Donald Ring, who caught for Jorge in the majority of games. In fact, I believe it was Ring who caught almost every single one of Jorge's games as opposed to last year's other stud catcher, Evan McDonald. But looks like we're about to get a kind of enthusiastic crowd here for a first pitch. And then, of course, Kyle Bruner. Kyle is a great guy. But let's not forget Corey Coobs. Let's not forget guys like Corey Coobs, Dave Naw, general manager, assistant coach. Corey Coobs actually now working exclusively with the pitchers as he moves on from his job at Oklahoma Wesleyan into a new pitching coach role at another school. We don't want to release that until the school releases the presser because we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. We got multiple first pitches, but of course we got a lot of talent. We got a lot of Division I talent. We got Kyle Casserly. We got Joey Roddy, Wright State, Ohio State, respectively, 2 of Ohio's great baseball schools. And of course, we got Hillsdale College, as has been represented in the Scouts lineup for the last couple of years. We got Dylan Lottenville Ackerman on top of Donald Ring, who we'll go on and talk about later, had an absolutely standout year with the Hillsdale Chargers. And when you look at some of these guys, you look at numbers. A guy like Aaron Takis in the middle infield, hitting above 400 in just his sophomore season at Corinne University over in Pennsylvania. So, Bubba Cates once said to me, opening day is like, Christmas Day. You never know what you're going to get. But from what we've seen from the Xenia Scouts team in a very limited training camp, like you said, Gabe, with only a week to work, we don't really know what we're going to get. But let's step off for just a second and honor our nation with the national anthem. So an opening day tradition unlike any other, and if you can see, they've released some doves out onto the field, flying over a beautiful Bob Wren Stadium here on a beautiful June night, about 80 degrees outside. Perfect weather for baseball and getting me all kinds of excited for this opening day matchup. But let's get you the starting lineups before this game gets underway. First for the Xenia Scouts, who are going to be batting first tonight as the visitors. Batting first and playing short is going to be Ben Beachy. Ange Bourgeois is batting second and playing second. Batting third and playing first base is going to be Kyle Casserly. In the cleanup spot, it's going to be Joey Roddy. He'll be playing third tonight. Batting fifth and playing right field, Dylan Lottenville. Batting sixth and playing left field, we have Jordan Lambert. The designated hitter tonight, batting seventh, is going to be Chris Ackerman. Catching and batting eighth is going to be Ryan Park. And in the 9-hole, the center fielder, Francisco Andina. The pitcher for our opposing Southern Ohio Copperheads tonight is none other than Tyler Schoaf. Schoaf, he played for the Missouri Tigers out of the Southeastern Conference, the native of Cuyahoga Falls, Michigan. Appeared in 15 games this season, pitching 9 2/3 innings, posting a 5.59 ERA. But here's the kicker, Gabe. In that 9 2/3 innings, Schoaf had 16 strikeouts for just 6 walks. What do you like to see out of this lefty?
When you have punch-out stuff like that, opposing team, can be in for a long night. Be patient at the plate if you're the Scouts. Don't chase anything out of the zone. Make this guy work for his pitches because, as you mentioned, he had 15 appearances, but he only pitched 9 2/3 with Missouri. Talking to some guys before the game, and the quote from him was, I'm not gonna go easy. I'm not gonna rest my arm. I'm gonna go at it. I'm gonna win every single batter. Despite playing with Missouri, he's not worrying about throwing out his arm. He's not worrying about innings or pitch counts. He's gonna go after batters.
Yeah, and the 6'1" southpaw is definitely going to be a challenge for the Scouts, who have a predominantly left-handed bat, or left side batting, I should say, lineup. I talked to Bubba Cates about how they were throwing the lefty in this opening night matchup, and he said it came as no surprise to him. So looks like we're about to get things underway here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio, as Ben Beachy is going to step up to the plate. And we are about to get the 2017 campaign underway. Beachy, the shortstop from Otterbein College. He steps in. And the first pitch of the 2017 campaign, in there for a called strike one. Beachy from Otterbein College, he batted .298 at Otterbein. That's with 11 doubles, a triple, and 1 home run. The 0-1 pitch. And that one is way up and way outside. Evens the count up, a ball and a strike. One. And that one is fouled on the ground, third base side, right into the Copperhead dugout. Puts Beachy behind in the count, 1-2. Beachy, the native of Franklin, Ohio. He batted a nice .339 against lefties this season. Waits the 1-2 pitch, and that one's a chopper over the glove of the jumping pitcher. The shortstop is going to come in and try to make the play, but he trips over his own foot, so we'll see if they rule that a hit or an error. I'd be surprised if they called that an error. The Scouts have their up. Looks like they're calling it a hit. And the Scouts, with the first man to the plate this year aboard. Ben Beachy leads off the 2017 campaign with a hit. And now 1 on and nobody out for Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois, the second baseman from Biola University. You might remember that name for you Scouts fans from last year's Great Lakes League All-Star Jeremy Barth for the Scouts was a Biola guy. First pitch to Bourgeois. That one's taken fastball outside part of the plate, a called strike one. Still scoreless here if you're just tuning in. Top of the first, 1 on, nobody out. The count 0-1 to Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois, he bats from the left side against the left-handed pitcher Schoaf, the 0-1 pitch, and that one is taken low and outside, evens up the count, a ball, a strike. Bourgeois at Biola. That's an NAIA school. He batted .299, 11 doubles, 1 home run, and 18 RBIs. 1-1 pitch. And that one's fouled right back. And, if they didn't have that net there, me and Gabe might have been in for some trouble. But luckily for our health, it is there. And all that does is put Bourgeois behind in the count of ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball in there for a called strike 3. And Ange Bourgeois goes down looking for out number 1.
Bourgeois saw 2 curveballs in that at bat, and right away, walking back to the dugout, he talks to Kyle Casserly about that curveball. Let the first one go. It was in the dirt. Gets K'd on the second one.
Speaking of Kyle Casserly to the plate. Casserly, the first baseman, Wright State University. First pitch, inside part of the plate, a called strike. Casserly had to sit out this past season at Wright State after transferring directly from West Virginia University. The 0-1 pitch. Oh, and that one, breaking ball in there for a called strike 2. So Kyle quickly finds himself behind in this count. 0-2, and he's going to have to fight his way back into this one. Tyler Schoaf not going to give him anything to hit. A very powerful, large first baseman. And that one inside in the dirt. Good job by the catcher, Reagan, getting down and blocking that one, preventing the pass ball and allowing Ben Beachy to advance to second. So everyone stays put. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the first. The runner at first is Ben Beachy. Casserly steps back in. Schoaf looks to the catcher, Reagan. He looks over to first. The 1-2 pitch, and the runner goes, and Casserly is going to foul that one out of play on the left side. So Ben Beachy clearly with some intention of stealing a base. Beachy this season at Otterbein, he had 11 stolen bases in 13 attempts. A pretty impressive percentage there on the base path, and taking another big lead here, trying to distract this pitcher, and distract him he does. Pickoff move over to first, a very loose pickoff move. Didn't really look like there was any real attempt to try to get him. But Schoaf more likely to be trying to keep Beachy honest there. Over at first. 1-2 to Casserly. And that one's way high. Beachy goes again. Throw over to second. It's going to be high. And the shortstop, Kirkpatrick, could not hold on and lay down the tag. The throw might have been ahead of Beachy, but the catcher, Reagan, just launched that one up there, and it took a big hop from Kirkpatrick to not allow that one to roll into center field and perhaps allow another advance. But the Scouts with their first runner in scoring position of the season now, a 2-2 count. With 1 out, Beachy, once again, a pretty large lead over at second. Here's the pitch. And swung on and missed, strike 3.
2 things. You can tell early that Schoaf's go-to pitch is his curveball. He loves the breaking ball. The second thing is Bubba Cates talked about all week how he loves to get runners to second base. He's going to get them there as quick as possible. Right away, you see Beachy take off for second.
Indeed. And a runner in scoring position and 2 outs now. The batter is Joey Roddy. Roddy swings at the first pitch, fouls that one way out of play. Looks like he was a tad bit ahead of that one. Flies out on the first base side, 0-1 the count. Joey Roddy, the first baseman from Ohio State University. He was redshirted in his freshman year, so headed into his redshirt freshman year with the Buckeyes over in Columbus. Roddy, the native of Boston, Massachusetts. 0-1 pitch, check swing. Did he go? Doesn't matter. That one's in there for a called strike, and yet again, for the second time in a row, the Scouts are behind 0-2 against the lefty, Tyler Schoaf. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the first, scoreless game. The runner at second is Beachy, and that one is lifted into pretty deep right field, but the right fielder Harrison takes a couple steps back and makes the grab for out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard. We have reached the middle of the first inning. The Xenia Scouts and the Southern Ohio Copperheads still scoreless. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Welcome back to Bob Wren Stadium. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe Genovesi. We are in the bottom of the first inning. The Southern Ohio Copperheads and the Xenia Scouts still scoreless in this opening day matchup between the two Southern Division rivals here in the Great Lakes League. A familiar face on the mound now for your Xenia Scouts. The name, it might ring a bell, Jorge Lozano. Lozano, the Wright State Raider from Spring Lake, Michigan, originally from the Dominican Republic. You might remember his name from last season with the Scouts, where he posted a 2.26 ERA over 51 and 2/3 innings pitched, a .192 batting average against, and a 1.2 whip. Those are some interesting baseball stats. Maybe not for the casual fan, but very important. And Lozano was such a key piece, if not the key piece, of the Scouts 2016 Southern Division Championship. We're going to get you the lineup for the Copperheads real quick, and I'm going to have to do it really quick here. Batting first and playing center field is Daniel McFarland. Justin Antonzik is playing second base and batting second. Josh Poole, the designated hitter, batting third. In the cleanup spot, it's going to be Matt Harrison. He's playing right field. In the 5 spot, it's going to be Blaine Krim playing first base. The catcher and batting sixth is Connor Reagan. Bryson Smith is batting 7th and playing 3rd. Justin Kirkpatrick, the shortstop, batting 8th. And in the 9th spot, the left fielder will be Ty Sunken. So Lozano, who I told him very casually the other day, Jorge, you're the face of this franchise. You're the returning guy, and he just wants to emulate the success that he had, what he described as a magical season last year. First pitch, and that one is going to hit Daniel McFarland right on the stomach. A hit by pitch to lead things off. So maybe not the start that Jorge wanted, but, we're really just warming up. And Jorge, who worked exclusively in relief this season at Wright State. 8 appearances, posting a 3.38 ERA with 13 1/3 innings pitched, striking out 12, walking 9, and having a pretty decent season. Wright State, of course, a Division I program. They play some very, very competitive schools. But runner on first. Nobody out. And the batter is Justin Antonzik. Antonzik, the native of Westerville, Ohio, and a friend of the person sitting just to the left of me, Gabe Genovesi. Gabe, what do you have to tell me about this guy?
And Antonzik can really hit the ball. Obviously, you mentioned didn't play a lot at Michigan State this past year as he takes a ball inside. Went 0 for 2 at the plate at Michigan State, but his senior year in high school, he batted over 400. He can rake. He'll send line drives to the gap. Not a power guy, not going to hit a lot of home runs, but he picks his pitch and he ropes it.
So Jorge, pickoff move over to first. McFarland taking a decent-sized lead here. Runner on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless game. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Antonzik. The Michigan State Spartan. The 2-0 pitch, and that one's grounded over towards first. Casserly is going to field it. Step on first. He's going to look to second, but not going to be time to get the play there. Call that a 3 unassisted in your books, and that is out number 1. McFarland advances to second, so now Lozano is going to have to work pretty hard to get out of a runner in scoring position with 1 out situation. But we saw Schoaf for the Copperheads do just that in the previous inning. But now the batter is going to be Josh Poole, the designated hitter. He's hitting .366. Well, he hit .366 this past season at Heartland Community College. That's .366 with 17 doubles, 3 triples, 12 home runs, and 63 RBIs. So an impressive spring for the man at the plate. Jorge looks back to second. Here's the first pitch. That one taken up and away, ball 1. Lozano looks. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that one, fastball right down the pipe in there for a called strike, evens up the count. A ball and a strike here with 1 out. The runner at second is Daniel McFarland. Taking a decent-sized lead. Jorge doesn't seem to be looking back now. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one is hit hard but foul first base side. Jorge now finding himself ahead in this count. A ball and 2 strikes here with 1 out. The old batting from the left side against the right-hander Jorge Lozano. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Hip, hip, Jorge. His first strikeout of the day, and that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the first. And now Lozano, who started off the inning on probably not the best note of all time, with the first pitch hit by pitch on a fastball that might have just gotten a little bit away from him on the inside and plunking Daniel McFarland. But he's just 1 out away from getting out of this inning unscathed. And the batter's going to be Matt Harrison. Harrison waits the first pitch. Jorge pounding the zone yet again. First pitch strike. Harrison from Marshall University, the right fielder tonight. He had 29 at-bats this spring with the Thundering Herd. 5 hits in those 29 at-bats. That gives you, if you're good at math, a 172 average. 0-1. Jorge low and away that time. He was at the count of ball and a strike. Marshall, a Division I program in West Virginia. Obviously kind of notable for the movie We Are Marshall. Notable alumni, Randy Moss. The 1-1 pitch. And Jorge low again that time, falling behind in this count. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first inning, a scoreless game. A gapper would probably put the Copperheads on the board here. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Evens up the count, 2-2. Looks like he got him on the changeup that time, as Harrison was way ahead of that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Lozano looks to the catcher, Ryan Park. The 2-2 pitch. And that one is low. And that's going to be in the dirt. Lozano scrambling to make sure he can get that ball and preventing the runner from advancing into another 90 feet to third. But a big moment here with a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, but 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And Lozano is certainly working here in this first frame that he's pitching all summer. The 3-2 pitch. And that one is lifted into left field, going back to left fielder Lambert, and that one's going to drop in front of him. Coming around third to score is McFarland, and heading to second, and he will get there standing, is Matt Harrison. An RBI double off the bat of the Marshall Thundering Herd. Player Matt Harrison has put the Copperheads on the board, giving them a 1-0 lead, and a real battle there between Harrison and Lozano, and Harrison got the best of him, hitting into that deep kind of left center-ish area, the gapper around the 390 sign.
Yeah, he got one up in the zone and he roped it to left field, and that's got to feel good if you're Harrison. Only batting 172 at Marshall last season, only had 1 RBI for the Thundering Herd. In his first at-bat of the summer, he gets himself a 2-out RBI double, and the Copperheads are on the board.
Well, it's a whole new season, Gabe, and first pitch of this at-bat. In there for a called strike. The batter is Blaine Krim. Krim from Mississippi College. That's a junior college. And he batted .335 there with 41 RBIs. He hit 8 home runs. Runner at second with 2 outs again. The Copperheads lead by a score of 1-0. The 0-1 pitch. And that one low and away. Evens at the count of ball and strike. One pitch. And that one grounded foul right behind him. So Jorge again ahead in the count yet again. And hopefully he can minimize damage here and get this guy. This will be the 5th batter he has faced on the day. So Lozano looks to Ryan Park. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that is going to do it for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the first. But 1 run on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard. We have played 1, and the Copperheads lead your Xenia Scouts by a score of 1-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the top of the second we go. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio, where your Scouts trail the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 1-0. And the Scouts are going to send Dylan Lottenville, Jordan Lambert, and Chris Ackerman to the plate this half inning as they try to get on the board here against the very talented lefty Tyler Shove. So Lottenville steps in, first pitch to him, and that one is on the ground and into left field, a base hit. So Dylan Lottenville, before I even get the chance to really introduce him, he is on base. And the Scouts with a leadoff man aboard, 2 innings in a row. And I've known Bubba Cates for a very long time. And getting the leadoff man on is something he emphasizes more than anything. And that with the very talented Jordan Lambert to the plate. An opportunity to really get something going here for the Scouts. Lambert from UT Martin. First pitch, and that one's high, ball 1. Lambert, he bats from the left side against the lefty. A tall, red-haired power guy. He takes a breaking ball in there for a called strike 1. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike here with nobody out. In the top of the second inning, the Scouts trailing the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 1-0. 1-1 pitch. And swung on and missed there. So Lambert behind in the count 1-2. Jordan, very limited work this past season at UT Martin. Self-described as, I didn't play at all. But, the numbers on him that you can get from your research speak otherwise. Lambert, 1 for 5 from the plate. He did have an RBI. The one hit was a double. So he's an extra base hit guy if he is anything. And that one is on the ground, and that's going to get past the glove of a diving first baseman and roll into right field. Lottenville is rounding second, heading for third. The third is going to be way out of play. And the ball is out of play, and Dylan Lottenville is going to be allowed to round third and come home automatically. And just like that, what seemed like it could have been a grounder to first for an easy out turns into a RBI that puts the Scouts on the board for the first time this season. We have tied this game all up at 1. Gabe, what'd you see there?
And sometimes that's all you got to do if you're Jordan Lambert. He really didn't get a good piece of that ball. Just a huge one hopper that happened to get past the first baseman in Krim. Antonzik, the second baseman, playing more toward second base, snuck through into right field, and then the error allows the Scouts to score a run.
So Chris Ackerman first pitch. That one's hit high in the air to center field. Can of corn catch there. Mark it down as an F8 in your book, and that's out number 1. So 1 out here in the top of the second. The Scouts have tied this game up at 1 run apiece. It's going to bring Ryan Park to the plate. Park, one of the guys on the, the Scouts always have guys that come from much farther away than any of these other teams in the Great Lakes League. He is a native of Fullerton, California, so that's a plane ride and a half for you. The first pitch to him in there for a called strike. Ryan just finishing up his freshman year at Point Loma Nazarene. And that is one of the schools with one of the better mascots you'll ever hear. They are the Sea Lions. But he hits that one in the air. Right field, that one is going to drop in fair play. So a very bloop single, and that one had all kinds of, looks like backspin, and it looked like it was going to be for sure a foul ball, but it just cuts and just right to the left of the right field line, about as close to being a foul ball as you can. But it's not about how pretty it is. It's about whether it's a hit or not. Now the Scouts have runners at the corners with just 1 out for Francisco Ondina. Ondina first pitch, and he hits that one high in the air. And that is going to be an easy one for the shortstop, Kirkpatrick. He calls for it, makes the grab, out number 2. So the Scouts have gone through the order the first time already, and now it's Ben Beachy coming to the plate for the second time in as many innings. Jordan Lambert is at third. Ryan Park is at first. Here with 2 outs in the top of the second in Southern Ohio. Beachy, his first time up, a single and a stolen base, showing maybe a preview of things to come of productivity in that leadoff role for Beachy. First pitch, and that one is low and in, and looks like Ryan Park is going to take advantage of a ball that was in the dirt. Didn't get behind the catcher, Reagan, but just, a catcher knows when he sees that pause and a ball in the dirt and advancing over to second base. So now the Scouts could put another 2 on the board with anything in the gap here. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the second. The pitch, and that one high, ball 2. The 2-0. And a balk, it seems. Yep, indeed, a balk. So another run comes home, and just like that, the Scouts taking a 2-1 lead. Did you see the balk? I don't know if I saw it.
I really didn't see it either, and head coach Phil Butler is going to come out and argue with the field umpire here. And, obviously I don't think the call is going to change. He's not going to change his mind, but I really don't know what he saw.
Indeed. And when we talk about balks here with the Xenia Scouts, nothing comes to mind other than last year's balk-off where the Richmond Jazz beat us in extra innings in what was a very hard-fought game on a controversial balk call against Jacob Chrysler. But, hey, the baseball gods give it, the baseball gods take it away. And now the Scouts with their second run of the inning and still with an opportunity to add 1 more.
Take what you can get.
Indeed. So 2-1 Scouts is your score. Ryan Park is the runner at third. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. And that one is going to get past the catcher, but Ryan Park not going to even take the risk of trying to go for home, as the catcher Reagan did a very good job of. Oh, no, it was ball 4. I guess the ball counted as a ball. He's at first. Or did it hit him?
It might have hit him on the foot.
Yeah, it must have hit him on the foot. All right, well, apologies on our part there. It's runners at the corners. The batter, Ange Bourgeois. Bourgeois, his first time up, he went down looking. But like we said earlier, Bourgeois, one of the guys who is very, very effective against left-handed pitching. And a guy that Jeremy Barth described as a gamer, a guy who can tear it up from the left side. And the Biola University, that's out in California. And we talk about guys like Ryan Park from Fullerton, California, making the long trip. Well, not exactly a short trip for Ange Bourgeois either. He's a native of Salt Lake City, Utah. Big fan of the Utah Jazz and making the trek out from the West Coast to get an opportunity to tour the beautiful state of Ohio and help the Scouts try to make another run at the Great Lakes League Championship, coming just short last year. So the visit to the mound is over here. Runners at the corners. 2 outs here in the top of the second. 2-1 Scouts is your score. The 1-0 pitch. And that one low and away. And Bourgeois ahead in the count 2-0. And if nothing else, Gabe, we are working the pitch count here for Tyler Schoaf. Here's the 2-0. And that one finds the zone, a called strike. Moves the count 2-1.
And now that he's got a strike here, I'm curious to see if he goes back to that curveball. He's gotten away from it a little. It was his punch-out pitch in the first inning.
2-1. Runners go. Throw over to second. That's going to get there in time for out number 3. So Ben Beachy trying to pick up his second stolen base of the game. No luck, but the Scouts, they had 2. And we have reached the middle of the second inning. The Xenia Scouts lead the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 2-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the second inning we go. The Scouts leading the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 2-1, and it's Jorge Lozano out for his second inning of work. Jorge, in the home half of the first, allowed 1 run on 1 hit. Kind of a difficult situation after leading the inning off with a hit by pitch. But he ended up punching out 2 guys in the first inning. So Jorge Lozano coming back with the strikeouts just as we saw last year, and he's going to work against the 6, 7, 8 spot in the Copperheads lineup at least. First pitch, and that one is lined hard over towards Shirt. Beachy picks it up on 1 hop throw over to first in time. Out number 1. So Ben Beachy, the talented shortstop over there, being able to make the quick play on a very hard liner on just 1 hop right in front of him. So impressive work by Beachy. And it's going to bring Bryson Smith to the plate. Smith, the third baseman from Western Kentucky. First pitch. He shows bunt but pulls back. That one's on the inside. 1-0 goes the count. Smith at Western Kentucky. 271 average with 4 RBIs. The 1-0. And that one's fouled straight back. Evens at the count, a ball, a strike. Western Kentucky, a Division I program in Conference USA. The Hilltoppers. Here's 1-1. And that one low and away moves the count 2-1. Righty-righty matchup here. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that one is grounded foul, third base side, right over the Copperhead dugout. Looks like someone on that third base side making a pretty good play on the ball, getting a little ovation here from the Athens, Ohio crowd. So 2-2 now the count. Here's Lozano, 2-2 pitch. In there for a call, strike three. Hip, hip, Jorge, his third strikeout of the day. And that's out number 2 here in the bottom of the second inning. And Lozano looks like he went for the breaking ball there and just got him looking. What do you think of his stuff so far, Gabe?
That off-speed pitch is really working for Jorge. The curveball's dropping in there nicely. The one RBI came off a pitch up in the zone. If he keeps the ball down, he's going to have a couple good innings here.
So now Justin Kirkpatrick to the plate with 2 outs. First pitch in there for a called strike, and Jorge just looks like he's getting himself into a groove. 3 strikeouts already on the day. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 2-1 Scouts is your score. The 0-1 for Lozano, and that one swung on and missed, strike 2, and Jorge just attacking, getting ahead on hitters here. And if you're a Scouts fan, this is a very positive sign. This might be the Jorge Lozano of old, and that one is swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him on the breaking ball on the outside. So hip, hip, Jorge, his 4th strikeout of the day after just 2 innings. We have played 2 innings here in Athens, Ohio. No runs on no hits, and nobody left aboard for the Copperheads in the bottom of the second. 2-1 Scouts is your score. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the top of the third inning we go. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. And the Scouts heading into the top of the third with a 2-1 lead and trying to add on some more. It's going to be Ange Bourgeois to the plate. First pitch. That one, fastball, finds the zone and called strike 1. Bourgeois, he came up to the plate in the last inning, but that inning ended on a caught stealing attempt. It looks like a breaking ball there. Swung on and missed by Bourgeois, but the catcher, Reagan, he is down. He might look like he's just going to walk it off. Taking a breath here, but Bourgeois behind in this count, 0-2. Against the Missouri Tiger, Tyler Schoaf. It looks like everything's okay. 0-2, the count here. Ange Bourgeois versus Tyler Schoaf. Schoaf, he sets and delivers. The 0-2 pitch, and that one is hit high but foul. On the third base side, out of play. We're going to do 0-2 all over again. Bourgeois, the second baseman out of Biola University in Los Angeles, California, the city of angels. Here's 0-2. And that one taken off the plate. Moves the count 1-2. Bourgeois, his first time up, he went down looking. The first strikeout of the day for Tyler Schoaf. 1-2. And that one is in there for a called strike 3. Again, a curveball on the inside part of the plate. So Bourgeois has come to the plate 2 times and went down looking 2 times. So it's going to bring Kyle Casserly to the plate now with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Casserly, his first time up. He was the 2nd strikeout victim of Tyler's show. First pitch. That one gets past the catcher, but they're going to say that was in there for a called strike. Looks like fastball just finding the inside part of the plate. So nothing in 1 here with 1 out in the top of the 3rd. 2-1 Scouts is your score. The 0-1, and that one a chopper over towards first. The first baseman, Krim, is going to field it, step on the bag, a 3 unassisted for out number 2.
The off-speed pitches early in the count to Bourgeois and Casserly, kind of throwing the top hitters for the Scouts off. They're going to have to adjust to that curveball. He's not going to give the top of the lineup fastballs to hit.
Indeed, indeed. And the top of the lineup so very dangerous for this Xenia Scouts team. Joey Roddy to the plate now, the Ohio State Buckeye. Awaits the first pitch. That one fastball inside part of the plate, a called strike 1. Roddy, he hits from the right side against the left-handed pitching Tyler Schoaf. A battle of guys from big Division I powerhouses in Missouri and Ohio State. A 1 pitch. That's downstairs. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. Schoaf. The 1-1. Big breaking ball up and away. And Roddy now ahead in this count, 2-1. Roddy, his first time up, he flew out to right. 2-1. And that one inside. Joey going to have to move the knees there to get out of the way, avoid the whole stinger. But he finds himself in very much a hitter's count. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch, and Roddy's going to foul that one back right into the screen, right behind him, and a good swing on that ball, just missing. And with a guy like Roddy, who has all the power potential in the world, especially for a young guy, that's one that you want to get back. So full count, 3-2. And Joey just getting a piece of that one, fouling it right back into the plate. We're going to stay at 3-2. Joey, the graduate of Boston College High School, a school once ranked by Sports Illustrated as the 10th best high school athletic program in the country. 3-2, and he's going to ground that one over towards first. The first baseman picks it up, steps on first, a 3 unassisted for out number 3, and that's going to do it for us in the top of the 3rd. No runs on no hits, and nobody left aboard for the Scouts in the top half of the 3rd. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. Andrew Alix here alongside Gabe Genovesi. The Scouts lead the Copperheads by a score of 2-1. And Jorge Lozano, he's out for his 3rd inning of work. Lozano has struck out 4 through 2 innings so far. First pitch, fastball, finds the outside part of the plate. A called strike 1. So Jorge has gotten ahead on just about the last 4 or 5 batters he's faced. 0-1, fouled back into the screen. So Jorge really attacking ahead in this count, 0-2. The batter is Ty Sunken. Sunken from Bowling Green State University. That's a Division I program out of the MAC. You might recognize the name if you have a great memory. He was on the Irish Hills Leprechauns last season. He fouls the 0-2 straight back into the screen. Last season with the Irish Hills Leprechauns, Sunken, he batted at a .283 mark. That was with 8 doubles, 3 triples, and 20 RBIs. Earned himself on the All-Star team for the North Division. And he rips that one, but that's going to drop foul on the third base side. So we are going to stay at 0-2. And looks like he broke the bat there. You could hear it really there. And, you know, it's very interesting. You got to hope that these guys don't have to pay for all of these bats that they break, because that's a tough investment. You go out there and you buy yourself, the nicest bat that they sell at Dick's Sporting Goods. And opening day, first at bat, come out there and, get caught up on the inside, and, that's $100 down the drain. But Sunken apparently going for the backup stick here, and he steps back in and waits the 0-2 from Lozano here. Here's the pitch, and that one's low and in, moves the count, 1-2 strikes. Sunken at Bowling Green only really hit at 100 batting average and very limited work. 1-2, up and away, evens up the count, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. With nobody out here in the bottom of the third, the Scouts lead by a score of 2-1. Lozano delivers. Sunken fouls that one back. So after going behind in the count, 0-2, Ty Sunken has really, impressively worked his way back into this count. Just staying alive and staying alive against Lozano, who is more or less had his way with the last 4 batters he's faced. But the 2-2 pitch just missing a fastball just off the plate. Lozano might have wanted that one, or at least wanted Sunken to chase, but he watches all the way. And the count that started off 0-2 has found itself at 3 balls, 2 strikes. The full count pitch, and that one is going to be taken low, ball 4. So Ty Sunken, a very impressive at-bat, and Lozano delivers his first walk of the day. Third base runner against Lozano. The first 2 coming in the first inning. But it's going to be back to the top of the Southern Ohio order here. A runner at first and nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. Scouts leading by a score of 2-1. McFarland, his first time up, he was hit by a pitch, ended up coming around to score on the Matt Harrison RBI double. Sunken takes his lead over at first, showing bunt, but pulling back is McFarland, but that ball finds the zone, a called strike. Lozano looks to the catcher park. The third baseman, Joey Roddy, playing way in. Pickoff move over to first. Very close. And Lozano really thought he might have had that one. The center fielder, Undina, playing a couple steps to the left. About regular depth for the left and right fielders, Lambert and Lottenville, respectively. 0-1 pitch. Taken off the plate, evens up the count, of ball and strike. Lozano looks to the catcher park. He delivers. And that one grounded right back at Lozano. But they're going to say that bounced in foul territory before rolling to Lozano. So all that's going to count as is strike number 2. And that's tough that only counts as strike number 2, because that was looking like a tailor-made 1-6-3 double play. That could have really have gotten Lozano in a much better position than he otherwise possibly could find himself here. But still with the opportunity now, he's one strike away from his 5th punch out. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. The 1-2 pitch, and that one is just tipped foul by McFarland. We're going to do 1 and 2 again. Lozano with 37 pitches so far on the day. So the Copperheads working him a little more this inning. 1-2 pitch, and that one's grounded foul on the first base line again. Looks like one of the Copperheads photographers standing in the Xenia Scout dugout actually made a very impressive barehanded grab there. Athletes all over the place. You never know where you're going to find them. Sometimes they're holding a camera. Sometimes they're holding a baseball bat. But the count stays at 1 and 2. A runner at first with nobody out here. Pickoff move from Lozano. Not in time. Jorge Lozano versus Daniel McFarland. Pickoff move again. Lozano throwing it over to his Wright State Raider teammate Kyle Casserly over there at first. Decent sized lead for Sunken over at first. 1-2 pitches up and away. Evens the count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a very long start to this bottom of the 3rd inning. The Copperheads working Lozano's pitch count. 1-2. And that one taken off the plate. I believe that might have been a mistake. That might have been the 2-2 pitch, right?
There's some discussion about it behind us now.
Some discussion between the scorekeepers.
Okay, it is 3-2 now. That was the 2-2 pitch.
The count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out. Lozano looks to Park. He delivers the 3-2 pitch, and that one is grounded in the hole past the glove of the shortstop, Ben Beachy. A base hit for Daniel McFarland. He is aboard for the 2nd time today, and that is the 2nd hit of the day for the Southern Ohio Copperheads, who have something brewing here in the bottom of the 3rd. Runners at 1st and 2nd with nobody out, and it's going to bring Justin Antonzik, the Michigan State Spartan and friend of Gabe Genovesi, to the plate. Antonzik, his first time up, grounded out to the first baseman. Lozano, first pitch. Oh, and he steps off and makes Ty Sunken scramble back over to second place to avoid the pickoff, but Sunken seems to like it, clapping his hands over there at second as the Copperheads really trying to work it here. Pitch inside. Ball number 1. It looks like Ryan Park's going to run out in there and have a word with Lozano. And what have you seen that's different this inning compared to the last game?
He's just missing his spots just a tad. He had 3 pitches in those first 2 batters that could have been called strike 3. And the home plate umpire, Bryce McCullough, didn't quite give him the call. He's got to get back in the zone like he's doing now. Take a deep breath, take his time, and get in a groove.
And Lozano, when he can keep himself calm, cool, and collected, is when he is at his best. Sometimes allowing himself to get a little overly frustrated can be his weakness. 1-0 pitch, and just like you said, taking a moment to step back, take a breath, and puts that one right in the zone. The called strike 1. Evens up the count of ball and strike. Antonzik, he bats from the right side against the righty Lozano. 1-1 pitch, and that one is fouled out of play, first base side. And almost towards the bouncy house there on the first base side, you know. Not quite what we saw at Prasco Park the other day with the bouncy house setup. Perhaps they do it right at Prasco Park, especially with the free food.
They had slides going and a bunch of bouncy houses.
Yeah, that place is like a A dream come true. 1-2 pitch inside. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The Scouts still lead this one by a score of 2-1. Lozano. He looks to park. And he calls time, steps off as Ange Bourgeois over there at second trying to maybe see if they can make a play. Over to second base, get Ty Sunken with a little too big of a lead, but we're going to stay at 2-2. Lozano, he delivers. And that one is fouled way high and way back. The count is going to stay at 2-2. Jorge Lozano has thrown 28 strikes and 18 balls in what has been pretty effective pitching thus far, except for these couple hiccups. And that one is lined into the right center gap, and that one's going to drop. Ty Sunken is rounding third, and he's headed home. The throw to the plate will be not in time. An RBI single off the bat of Justin, and Townsend has tied this game up at 2 runs apiece.
That is a save on home plate of the game brought to you by Stephanie Wood and Ohio Realty to help you find the next safe home. Stephanie Wood, bringing home the results of the old nation.
So what's got to be a frustrating inning for Lozano was pitching coach Corey Coob's going to come out and have a word with him. You know, has been just about 1 strike away with all of these guys, and it's got to be a frustrating moment for a guy like Lozano, especially, you know, this is his 3rd inning of working. Let's remember that at Wright State this season, he hasn't had any extended, he didn't start any games. He pitched about 9 innings on the season, just individual relief appearances. So throwing 50-some-odd pitches at this point is going to be a little bit out of his comfort zone.
And I was talking to Lozano before the game, and I, kind of gave him a, hey, let's go get a W type thing. And he told me that he's going to be limited to a pitch count today. He's going to pitch 60 at the max because, just as you mentioned, he only pitched 9 innings at Wright State. He said the most he pitched at Wright State was 61 pitches in an inning. So they're going to limit him to 60 today. Eventually, they'll extend that to 75 after he gets 2 or 3 starts under his belt. And then towards the end of the year, obviously, there will be no pitch count on him. But tonight, look for that to stop around 60.
Well, Lozano is, despite being a reliever at Wright State, he has told me that they are looking to work him into a starting role. First pitch to Josh Poole. Swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. We are all tied up at 2 here. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 3rd. Here in Athens, Ohio, Bob Wren Stadium on the campus of Ohio University. OU, oh yeah. 0-1. Lozano looks back to second. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed again. So Jorge taking no time to get ahead in this count. Looking for possibly his 5th punch out, but he's been close to his 5th punch out the last 3 guys that he's faced. And Tonzik at first, McFarland at second. The 0-2 pitch. Taken upstairs. Moves the count 1-2. Lozano. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Hip, hip, Jorge. His 5th strikeout of the day. That is out number 1 here. And Gabe talked about the pitch count. Well, we are getting mighty close to it. He is on, I believe that was pitch number 51?
51.
51. So supposedly he is 9 pitches away from having the plug pulled on him, which sets up an interesting situation of a very long relief appearance. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe Kyle Bruner in that role. As first pitch to Matt Harrison in there for a called strike one. Harrison from Marshall University, his last time up, an RBI double that opened up the scoring in this game in the bottom of the first inning. Still runners at first and second with one out here. And that one's going to get past the catcher, Ryan Park, but he scrambles and grabs it, preventing the runners at first and second from advancing another 90 feet, even though the count of ball and a strike, however. And Lozano calling time again here. Looks like we got some action brewing in the bullpen. So call us 1 for 1 on predictions this season.
That's not going to last long.
No kidding. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Good job by Park to not let it get past him, but moves the count 2-1. We are in the bottom of the third inning here in Athens, Ohio, as the sun sets on a beautiful 80-degree opening night here in the Great Lakes Collegiate Baseball League. Jorge Lozano looks to the catcher, Park. The 2-1 pitch, and that one low and in. And now Matt Harrison, who flexed an extra base hit in his first at-bat in the Great Lakes League, finds himself in a hitter's count with a runner in scoring position and a runner at first, with an opportunity to maybe pad those stats a little bit more. For Lozano, a double play ball with end here. The 3-1 pitch, and that one is ripped into left field, and that's going to drop. The left fielder, Lambert, he's going to make the throw home. It is cut off, and the throw home will be not in time. So call it an RBI single for Matt Harrison, and now the Southern Ohio Copperheads take a 3-2 lead. And that was not a double play ball, and Harrison with 2 RBIs and 2 hits on this young season. And now if the pattern holds, looks like the Scouts and the Copperheads might find themselves in a little counter-punch matchup here, especially with starting pitchers with high pitch counts. But runners at first and second, still 1 out here. Blaine Krim, the batter. Krim from Mississippi College. His first time up, he went down swinging. He was the second strikeout victim of Jorge Lozano on the day. First pitch. Check swing. Did he go? They say he did not, so it's going to be ball 1. How we doing on the pitch count now?
Jorge's up to 57.
The clock is ticking. 1-0. And that one, a grounder over towards short. Beachy, he's going to go to second for 1. The throw to first for 2 will be off the mark, so they'll get the runner at second. Call it a fielder's choice. Safe at first is Blaine Krim, so out number 2. And now we find runners at the corners, and Jorge trying to get out of this inning with minimal damage. And the pitch count has truly skyrocketed. He's probably thrown about 30 pitches this inning.
This inning alone.
Yeah, and very tough, given that those of you that have been with us the entire time, he was ahead in the count on both of the first 2 batters that he faced. So Connor Reagan to the plate, his first time up. Reagan grounded out to short for the first out of last inning, but he rips that one into right field, and that one's going to drop. Coming home is going to be McFarland. Coming home is Antonzik. And that's going to be a 2 RBI double for Connor Reagan. And the Scouts now trailing in this one by a score of 5-2. So this has been the inning, that we have been dreading. And a very uncharacteristic inning from Lozano. Still looking for that elusive third out. Another runner in scoring position for the Copperheads. They now lead 5-2, a 4-run bottom of the third here. First pitch, that one fouled right towards the Scout dugout. 0-1 the count. How did we get here? Well, Ty Sunken walked. That was fouled up by a Daniel McFarland single. A Justin Antonzik RBI single. He then struck out Josh Fuo. But then it was a 2 RBI single from Matt Harrison, followed by a 2 RBI double from Connor Reagan. And on the pitch there, it looks like Ryan Park a little bit shaken up. He is down. Looks like Coach Ross Yoder, the bench coach, going to come out and just make sure that Park is okay. He is still kind of, looks like he's in some sort of pain.
That foul ball went to the area you don't want it to go to.
Oh, that hurts for sure. So looks like we got some trainers coming out just to have a word. See, look, it's interesting because it looks like he's obviously in pain, but he never at any point called for any assistance. We're going to let it happen and kind of just taking some time here. Let Ryan Park shake it off. I wouldn't expect a substitution of any sort. And he's giving the thumbs up to the umpire. It looks like we're going to get back into action here. So 0-2 the count. With 2 outs, Jorge Lozano just 1 strike away from closing the book on an inning that he likely would like to forget. No balls, 2 strikes. With 2 outs here, the runner at second is Connor Reagan. Lozano looks to the catcher Park. He delivers. And that one grounded right towards Lozano. He's going to barehand it. 1 hop throw over to first is going to be off the mark. It gets past Casserly. Coming home is going to be Connor Reagan, and an error on the throw from the pitcher Lozano is going to bring home another run. The Copperheads extend their lead to 6-2. And that is going to fall under the category of can't catch a break. So Justin Kirkpatrick to the plate. And it looks like Bubba Cates going to come out and have a word with Lozano. It'll be interesting to see if they pull the plug here. And indeed they will. So we are going to step off. Jack Rains coming into pitch. We're going to give him an opportunity to warm up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. All right, a reliever in for the Xenia Scouts. Jorge Lozano's day is done. The reliever is Jack Rains. Jack Rains from Baldwin Wallace. He appeared in 13 games at Baldwin Wallace this year, pitching 15 and 2/3 innings, posting a 3.54 ERA. That is 16 strikeouts for 6 walks. Allowed 2 doubles and 2 home runs on the year. So Rains is going to be tasked with getting the Scouts out of this bottom of the third that has been quite a doozy. The score now 6-2 Copperheads. First pitch, runner goes, throw from Park over to second. Not in time. So Bryson Smith, who reached on an error from the throw from Lozano on what would have been the final out of this third inning, instead allowing another run to come home, and the Scouts find themselves behind by 4 runs now. 1-0 the count. Rains. The 1-0 pitch. And that one taken off the plate. Ball number 2. Rains the lefty. So the Scouts clearly switching it up here. 2 balls, no strikes, with 2 outs here. Rains looks back to second. Now he looks to Park. The pitch, and that one grounded in the gap, and that's going to get past the glove of the diving shortstop. The throw from center field home is going to be cut off by the pitcher. Throw over to second. Not in time. So another run comes home. And what has really been a nightmare of an inning for the Xenia Scouts. And they're just going to try to stop the bleeding here. Still plenty of baseball left to play, of course. And Bob Wren Stadium here in Athens, Ohio, some of the great comebacks of last season. Putting up where, Donald Ring, a guy whose name will come to mind, his 3 RBI double in the 8th inning last year here at Bob Wren, mounting a 5-run comeback for the Scouts. So first pitch to Ty Sunken. That one finds the zone of called strike. Ty Sunken, he led off this inning with a walk in what was one of the, very impressive at-bats that you'll see at this level. He was behind 0-2 and just worked and worked and worked. Fouled pitches off left and right, eventually drawing a walk. And he was the first guy to come home for the first run of what has been 6 so far here for the Copperheads. But he fouls that one back. So Rains ahead in the count, 0-2 here. With 2 outs, the runner at second is Justin Kirkpatrick. Rains. The 0-2 pitch in there for a called strike 3. He got him looking. So that's going to be 6 runs on 5 hits and 1 man left aboard for the Copperheads in the bottom of the third. We have played 3, and the Copperheads lead the Scouts by a score of 7-2. But don't go anywhere. There is still plenty of baseball left to play here in Athens, Ohio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. back here in the top of the fourth, and we are going to turn it over to Gabe Genovesi for the next couple innings of action. Gabe?
And Dylan Lottenville will step to the plate for the Scouts. Lottenville in inning number 2 singled to lead off the inning for Xenia. Tyler Schoaf still on the mound for the Copperheads. The lefty deals a curveball in there for a strike. The first pitch of the at-bat to Lottenville. Back in the second, Lottenville singled. Jordan Lambert then singled, and Lottenville ended up coming around to score on an errant throw from the right fielder Harrison. As this time the curveball misses just outside, 1-1 to Lottenville. Now the 1-1, Lottenville fouls it straight back. That'll bring us to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the now junior from Hillsdale College, and Dylan Lottenville. The 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss on a curveball in the dirt. Drop third strike. The throw down the first. Lottenville's out easily, and there's 1 away here in the 4th inning. Strikeout number 4 for Tyler Schoaf. We've been talking about it all afternoon. Schoaf's strikeout pitch is that curveball. The pitcher from Missouri in the SEC. Only 9 2/3 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts for Missouri this season, as the first pitch to Jordan Lambert is low and away for ball 1. Lambert the lefty, Schoaf the lefty. The 1-0 pitch this time catches the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jordan Lambert. Tyler Schoaf working quick here in the top of the 4th. Another fastball misses outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And I was going to say I had that same observation at the same time. He has really picked up his tempo here now in the top of the 4th.
The 2-1. This time the curveball drops right in for strike 2. 7-2 the Copperheads lead here in the top of the 4th over the Xenia Scouts. Now the 2-2 pitch to Lambert. This time the curveball's inside. It almost hit him. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Schoaf looks into the catcher, Regan. And now the payoff pitch. A curveball that Lambert skies high toward foul territory along the first base line. And the first baseman, Krim, makes a diving effort, but cannot get there. And the count will stay at 3-2 for Jordan Lambert. 6 runs in the 3rd inning for the Copperheads off of Jorge Lozano. 1 off of Jack Raines in relief as well. A run in the 1st for the Copperheads, 2 in the 2nd for Xenia, brings us to our 7-2 score here in the top of the 4th. And now the 3-2 from Schoaf. Lambert fouls it off behind the plate, and it'll stay at 3-2. Jordan Lambert has had a crazy journey in college ball, played at a couple community colleges. Now the 3-2 to him. A curveball that he ropes into right field. Going back is the right fielder Harrison, who makes the grab about 10 feet in front of the warning track, and a long out for Lambert brings up Chris Ackerman.
Yeah, but what we've seen with Lambert is he has a very smooth, powerful swing. We saw it with his single his first time up, and even there, hitting the ball very hard, just happens to be at somebody. Possibly a good sign of things to come for the UT Martin star in Lambert.
And now Ackerman takes a pitch for a strike. That looked to be a little low and inside. Ackerman kind of shakes his head. He didn't like the call, but it'll be, I think he called it a strike. I think it's 0-1. The scoreboard says 1-0, though. And now Ackerman fouls one back. So the scoreboard says 1-1. My apologies.
Oh, wait. Sometimes it's good to wait for the umpire. No, you were correct. 0-2.
Now the 0-2 to Ackerman. Ackerman bloops one into right field. Coming in as the right fielder Harrison, and the ball drops right in front of Harrison. Justin Antonzik, the second baseman, also going back to make that grab, and he just missed it. I don't know if there was a little miscommunication there or what, but it falls in for Ackerman, and he's got his first hit of the 2017 season.
And for Ackerman, that was, like I said, a lot of spin on that one, and that one just finding the perfect spot right between Antonzik and Harrison. And the Scouts, once again, for the third time in 4 innings, have a man aboard. It's time to deliver as they can try to chip away at this 5-run Copperhead lead.
Ryan Park steps to the plate. He takes a first pitch fastball high, 1-0. Park singled his first time up. Also another blooper toward right field that had that backspin on it along the first base line that the first baseman Krim couldn't quite get to. And now that's the second time Tyler Schoaf is thrown over in this ball game. Both times have just been huge lobs over to Blaine Krim at first. 2 down here in the top of the 4th. The Copperheads lead the Scouts 7-2. And now Park takes another fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Ryan Park, now a sophomore from Point Loma Nazarene University. The 2-0 to him, catches the inside part of the plate, 2 balls and 1 strike. Park, 10 games played for Point Loma. He went 1 for 12 at the plate with 5 walks his freshman season. Now the 2-1. Low and inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Scouts trying to get a little 2-out rally going as Ackerman stands on first base. The 3-1 pitch. The off-speed pitch catches the outside part of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ryan Park. Now the payoff pitch from Schoaf. Inside, ball 4. And I believe it might have hit Ryan Park on the jersey as well, but it doesn't matter. And the Scouts have runners on first and second.
And a 2-out rally here for the Scouts would be, a big, at least for momentum's sake, and to remind themselves that they're still alive in this game after the big blowout bottom of the 3rd would be key. It's going to be Francisco Ondina trying to keep this one going.
The first pitch to Ondina is outside for ball 1. Francisco Ondina, 5'8", 170 pounds, from Spring Arbor University. A native of Spring Arbor, Michigan as well. The 1-0. And this time the fastball catches the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Francisco Ondina. Ondina came through a lot for the Cougars, 30 RBIs in his sophomore campaign. Now the Scouts need him to come through one more time for them. And the 1-1 is a curveball that gets past the catcher, Regan, and that'll move up the runners 90 feet. And Ondina has 2 ducks on the pond.
Couple of guys in scoring position for the Scouts, and Ondina, a guy who played in center field every day this year at Spring Arbor, probably no stranger to the 2-out rally, and it's going to be up to him ahead in this count. Look for his pitch either here on 2-1, possibly look for the 3-1.
The 2-1 from Schoaf is a fastball that just catches the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Great pitch there by Schoaf.
He's been going to his curveball in these situations. We'll see if he comes back with it on 2-2. The Scouts down by 5, badly needing a couple runs. The pitch. Low, it bounces in front of Regan, and he makes a nice block, and that'll bring the count full, 3-2.
Big spot here for Ondina.
Ondina steps out, now steps back in. Waves the bat and awaits the payoff pitch. The 3-2 from Schoaf. A curveball high and inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the Scouts.
And now back to the top of the lineup, and Ben Beachy, and a guy who has been very successful thus far in his first 2 plate appearances with the Scouts. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a mound visit here. Going to try to get you a pitch count for Tyler Show.
So the bases are loaded for the Xenia Scouts here in the top of the fourth. 2 down.
And no surprise, a little action brewing up in the Copperhead bullpen. You got a bullpen catcher headed out there.
Ackerman stands on third, Park on second, Odina on first for Xenia. 7-2 is the Copperheads' lead here in the top of the fourth after a big 6-run third inning for Southern Ohio. Ben Beachy will step to the plate for the Scouts, now a junior at Otterbein College. Hit well in his sophomore campaign, 298 from the plate. And against lefties, Ben Beachy hit 339. And to add to that, he hit 298 with runners in scoring position, and he was 3 for 9 with the bases loaded at Otterbein.
Looks like this is the guy we want up in this situation.
The first pitch to Beachy is low and inside. Another great stop by the catcher, Connor Regan, and it'll be 1-0 to Ben Beachy.
Regan has had his work cut out for him all day.
Bases loaded. 2 down here in the top of the fourth for Ben Beachy. The 1-0 pitch. A fastball at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ackerman stands on third, Park on second, Odina on first. Beachy at the plate. The 1-1 pitch. Low, and it gets past Regan this time. Ackerman comes in to score from third, and the Scouts get one back. And now the runner, Park, trying to score for a second time, is way out at the plate. And that'll end the fourth inning for the Xenia Scouts. So the ball gets past Regan. Ackerman comes in easily to score from third. Park trying to score from second on the pass ball and catch Regan off guard, and was out by about 6 or 7 steps.
Never had a chance.
The Scouts get one back. It's 7-3 Copperheads, and I believe Andrew Alix has a little scoreboard update from around the league.
Yeah, with the out-of-town scoreboard for the Great Lakes League, presented by Snap Fitness. Snap Fitness, your 24-hour fitness destination in the great city of Xenia, Ohio. It's the top of the fifth in Hamilton, Ohio, as the defending champion Hamilton Joes take on the Grand Lake Mariners, and those teams all tied up at 2. Over in Lima, the Lima Locos and the Lorain County Ironmen going head-to-head. And it has been all Locos thus far here in the bottom of the fourth, and it's 5-0 Lima. In the Northern Division, it's the Irish Hills Leprechauns and the Grand River Loggers, all tied up at 2 in the top of the fourth. Now, in Canada, and many of you may not know this, the Great Lakes League has become an international league now. We have Canadian teams, and the St. Clair Green Giants of St. Clair, Ontario, Canada, are beating the Muskegon Clippers, or should I say trailing to the Muskegon Clippers by a score of 2-0. And last but not least, the Licking County Settlers are beating the Galleon Graders 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. So plenty of action going on here all over the Midwest and up into Canada tonight, and a lot of close ones. And now with the Scouts putting another run on the board, we'll see if Jack Rains could come out here and put some zeros on the board and give the Scouts a chance to try to claw their way back into this one game.
Rains came in and took care of the last out in the bottom of the third for the Scouts. He did let up that last run in the bottom half of the inning. So the Scouts get one back in the top of the fourth, a crucial error by Ryan Park trying to do a little too much there, and it kind of cost the Scouts. Ben Beachy, your leadoff hitter, who is very good with runners in scoring position. Instead of runners on second and third for him, the Copperheads are back up to the plate.
Yeah, and certainly probably one that Ryan Park would definitely want to have back, but you take risks, and sometimes they pay off, and sometimes they make you look not too smart in the end.
The first pitch to McFarland from Rains is a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike to Daniel McFarland. McFarland hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, singled in the third inning. And now the 0-1, and McFarland chases on a pitch way off the plate. 0-2, Rains is ahead in the count. Daniel McFarland out of Eastern Kentucky University takes a pitch inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. McFarland in his freshman campaign with Eastern Kentucky hit .363. Also led the team in RBIs with 25 and home runs with 5. And now he fouls the 1-2 back. And the count will stay at 1-2. McFarland's .363 average was also tied for the team high. Rains the lefty, sets and delivers. The 1-2, low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lights have turned on here at Bob Wren Stadium as the sun sets a little more. Now the 2-2 from Rains is an off-speed pitch that's fouled down the first base line. Casserly fields it in foul territory, and the count will stay even. Jack Rains making his first relief appearance of the year for the Scouts. He made 13 appearances for Baldwin Wallace this past season. He'll be a junior at Baldwin Wallace. And now a ground ball towards the shortstop, Beachy, and Beachy bobbles the ball, hits off the palm of his glove. And that'll be an error on Beachy, and McFarland reaches for the Copperheads. Not common of Ben Beachy to make an error like that. He had a 91.4 fielding percentage at Otterbein this past year. And that'll bring up Justin Antonzik for the Copperheads. Antonzik grounded out to first base in the first inning. He had an RBI single in the third. And now McFarland stands on first for Antonzik. Antonzik, a Michigan State Spartan, a native of Westerville, Ohio. Went 0 for 2 at the plate for the Spartans this year. Played mainly as a pinch runner. And now the first pitch to the Spartan is a strike at the knees. I mentioned earlier Antonzik's senior year of high school at DeSales High School. He had over 400 for the Stallions. Now the 0-1 from Rains, and he goes over to first, and they got the runner McFarland in a pickle. Beachy will chase down McFarland, makes the throw, and we're still in a rundown. Rains gets it to head to Bourgeois, and Bourgeois tags out McFarland for the first out of the inning. A good job by Ange Bourgeois to get the runner. And that'll help out Jack Rains big time. You never want to let that leadoff runner on base. Unfortunately, he did, but his defense helps him out after a good pickoff move from Rains. And now Antonzik awaits the 0-1. And he fouls it back toward the Xenia Scouts dugout along the first base line. No balls and 2 strikes to Justin Antonzik. Going back to Jack Rains at Baldwin Wallace, a 3.45 ERA for Rains, 1-1 in 13 appearances for the Yellow Jackets. Now the 0-2 to Antonzik. An off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. And Jack Rains has his second strikeout of the evening. And that'll bring up Josh Fuel for the Copperheads. Fuel has K'd both times this evening. A strikeout swinging in the first, a strikeout swinging in the third. And now he steps up for the first time against the lefty Jack Rains. The first pitch to Fuel is a curveball in there for strike 1. The infield for the Scouts, normal depth. Bourgeois and Beachy in the middle, playing on the outfield grass. And a swing and a miss at pitch number 2 by Fuel. The count is 0-2. Roddy at the hot corner, Beachy at short, Bourgeois at second, Casterly at first, and now the 0-2 pitch, a swing and a miss from Jack Rains. Rains is third strikeout of the evening, and that'll do it for the 4th inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. The Scouts get one at the top. The Copperheads can't get any in the bottom of the 4th. It's 7-3 Copperheads. We'll be right back for the top of the 5th on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Sports fans, catch in-depth coverage and analysis of today's game and preview the future matchups.
Back here for the top of the 5th at Bob Wren Stadium. The season opener for the Xenia Scouts on the road this evening on the campus of Ohio University. 7-3 is the Copperhead lead over the Scouts. 1 run in the first, 6 runs in the 3rd for the Scouts, 2 in the 2nd, and 1 in the 4th for the Scouts, 1 in the first, 6 in the 3rd for the Copperheads. And the lead is 7-3 for Southern Ohio. And Beachy swings and a miss at the first pitch, 0-1.
And it just, the 6-run 3rd inning just makes you think, what if maybe Jorge Lozano got some calls here and there on some close balls, the first 2 batters he faced in that inning, and could have possibly, allowed the lead to be a little bit diminished for those Copperheads.
Beachy swings and a miss at a curveball on the 2nd pitch, 0-2 to Ben Beachy. And now Schoaf takes the sign from his catcher, Regan, and deals the 0-2. And Beachy swings through a fastball, drop 3rd strike. Beachy's easily out, and if you hear the loud roar from the crowd, it's not just because Beachy struck out. I believe everybody just won $1 hot dogs for the rest of the night.
Yeah, no. Courtesy of Ben Beachy, hot dogs will be $1 here for the remainder of the 5th inning. So that gives them some time, I would say. Go get some hot dogs. See, now I just went and got a slice of pizza, and I could have just waited literally like 30 more seconds and gotten a $1 hot dog.
I was just about to say I might have to take advantage of that deal.
Hope you're quick.
And that'll bring up Ange Bourgeois for the Scouts. The lefty takes a curveball right in the front shoulder, and he'll take his base. Bourgeois kind of been struggling tonight with 2 strikeouts. He'll get on first any way he can.
And he wore that one and just plunked on the outside shoulder, probably in the bicep, tricep area, it looks like, and didn't even really hesitate. Just immediately started jogging on over to first, and he's already taken a pretty big lead, possibly looking to steal.
Kyle Casterly checks his swing at the first pitch. However, he did not go. 1 ball and no strikes to the now redshirt junior from Wright State. Bourgeois takes off, stealing. The throw down to second's way high into center field. Bourgeois gets up quickly, but he won't go anywhere. And Ange Bourgeois who works on that all the time in practice, getting good jumps, even off of lefties, does it there and steals his first base of the year.
When we talk about Ange Bourgeois, you look at everything he does, and he does everything 100%. You look at him stretch and warm up before practice, 110% effort each and every time.
And now Casserly has a duck on the pond with one out here in the 5th. And he takes a ball low, 2 balls and no strikes to Kyle Casserly. Just talking to Bourgeois this week, just as you mentioned, that hard work, taking everything 100%. I was talking to him, and he said, a little interesting story here. He read an article that Derek Jeter wrote. And Jeter, it might have been a book, actually, as we await the 3-0 to Casserly. It's in there for a strike on the outside corner. Bourgeois said there was an interesting passage in there where Jeter talked about Ichiro. And he said the one thing that he always remembered about Ichiro, as the 3-1 pitch from Schoaf is high and inside, Casserly walks, and the Scouts have runners on first and second with one out here in the 5th.
And a big moment here for the very young Joey Roddy. An opportunity, like I said, the Scouts trailing in this game, but as it looks like we may be heading to the bullpen here for the Copperheads, no run deficit, especially not a 4-run deficit, is insurmountable by any means. And that's going to be the name of the game for the Scouts all season. It's going to be grit. It's going to be never finding yourself down and out, especially with an early deficit. And that's where Bubba Cates' leadership comes in my opinion. He is, no matter what the score is, whether they're down by 11 runs or up by 11 runs or all tied up, Bubba preaches. You do everything 100%, no matter what.
And as we get set for the pitching change here, I'll just keep telling my story about Ange Bourgeois. So the one thing Jeter said that he always remembered about Ichiro is everywhere he went, the guy was stretching. You think of Ichiro, what do you think? He's quick, he's fast, he's got that loose swing that you don't see commonly in the MLB because he's got that Japanese-style swing, quick in the outfield. And Jeter talked about how he was always stretching in the locker room, in a hallway, in the dugout, before the game, in the middle of innings, just to stay loose. So I walked by Ange in the hallway, and he is literally sitting right in front of a door, just legs out, just stretching. I walk into the bathroom, and he's literally stretching his arm on the wall. And I was like, you always do that? He's like, yeah, man, I read it from Jeter, and I thought it was a very good point. So he likes to stay loose. He's going to steal a lot of bases. You see, as you mentioned, that stretch and that warm-up, that's the reason he takes it 100%. He wants to be as loose as possible on the base pass with his swing, and he thinks it leads to success.
Well, a guy like Ange Bourgeois is in a good position. If you're taking advice from the likes of Derek Jeter's observations on Ichiro, that's one Hall of Famers taking advice from another. And Ange Bourgeois just trying to emulate guys like that who have already etched their spot in baseball lore. Those are pretty good role models to look up to.
And the relief pitcher for the Copperheads will be Jesse James. James, a righty, stands at 6 foot tall from Shawnee State University. He'll be a senior at Shawnee State next year. A 6.04 ERA in his junior campaign. No wins, no losses in 17 appearances with the Bears. 22 in a third innings pitched, gave up 15 earned runs. And now Joey Roddy stands in for the Scouts. Roddy watches a ball below his knees, 1-0. Casserly on first, Bourgeois on second for Xenia. Down 7-3 to the Copperheads here in the top of the 5th. Roddy, 0 for 2 on the night, looking for his first hit of the 2017 season. Watches a curveball just off the outside part of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Roddy flew out to right field in the first inning, grounded out to the first baseman in the third. So that's interesting. He's gone opposite field in both of his at-bats. The infield for the Copperheads in double play depth, the middle infield at least. And now Roddy slices one towards left field, and it's caught by the left fielder Sunken. He takes a few steps in and makes that catch below his knees. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 5th.
And to me, that almost looked like he was going to scoop that one off the ground, but making the catch below the knee is no easy task. But Ty Sunken saving what could have ended up being a couple of runs there, or at least a bases loaded situation. But now, in relief, Jesse James has an opportunity to get out of this inning with 0 on the board for these Copperheads.
That'll bring up Dylan Lottenville. Lottenville 1 for 2 this evening, singled in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Ange Bourgeois dances off. And now a ball in the dirt to Lottenville, 1-0. We saw Lottenville in an exhibition game earlier this week crush an RBI double to the wall. So we know he has the power. He waves his bat above his shoulder and now grounds one towards third. A good play made by the third baseman, Smith, who touches the base. And instead of maybe an RBI double down the line for Lottenville, Smith saves a run, and that'll do it for the Scouts in the top of the 5th.
An incredibly impressive play on the third base line by Smith, like you said. And if this game ends up being a tight one at the end of the day and the Copperheads end up on top, they will have to give a big thank you to Bryson Smith, as that was a backhanded play, easy by no means. But now the Scouts, with another 0 on the board, find themselves with less of an opportunity and less time to come back in this one, especially with a couple guys on the pond like that. That's one that's tough to give up. Kind of just like the last inning, leaving a couple runners on base.
And it's still 7-3 Copperheads as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll take one quick short break before we begin the inning. You're listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. (7-3) is the Copperheads lead over your Xenia Scouts as we head to the bottom of the 5th here at Bob Wren Stadium. The lights are on as it's starting to get a little dark here in Athens, Ohio. And Matt Harrison, the cleanup hitter for the Copperheads, will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Harrison 2 for 2 tonight, an RBI double and an RBI single. The double in the first inning, the single in the third inning. And now Raines facing Harrison for the first time today. Bounces one in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes to Matt Harrison. Harrison, not the greatest of years at Marshall University in his freshman year. Went 5 for 29 at the plate. But he's here with the Copperheads and already making an impact. The 1-0 from Raines is an off-speed pitch that causes Harrison to check his swing. He did go around, 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison comes from a baseball family. His father, Ron, played baseball at West Virginia State University. And now the 1-1 is high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Matt Harrison. Raines looks into his catcher, Ryan Park. And now the 2-1 pitch is a curveball low at Harrison's feet. 3 balls and 1 strike. It's 340 to the corners here at Bob Wren Stadium. 405 all the way to dead center and 380 to right center field and left center field as Harrison takes a strike on the inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Raines already 3 strikeouts tonight. Sets and delivers the payoff pitch. And Harrison fouls it straight back. And the count will stay at 3-2.
It looks like the umpire kind of getting a little spooked there at the foul straight back, kind of walking it off. Did that get him in the chest?
I think it got him somewhere.
Yeah, because he's giving the thumbs up, so clearly something happened. Looks like the field umpire, Scott Bonner, coming in to have a quick word with the home plate umpire, Bryce McCullough, just double checking, saying it's okay. Looks like Park and Raines having a meeting at the mound as well. Corey Coombs came out, had a quick word, and it looks like they're going to send some water to our home plate umpire, McCullough. That's Caleb Bly bringing the water over there, and it's kind of just a makeshift timeout here in the game. We got some music going.
And I was about to say, I have never seen so many incidents behind the plate. McCall, the home plate umpire, gets hit. Ryan Park got hit, and he had to take a deep breath. And even Connor Regan back in the first inning, I believe, had to take.
He was down.
He was down as well.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
So after the brief timeout, the 3-2 pitch from Raines, McFarland grounds one toward third. Roddy makes the backhanded play. The throw across the diamond is off the mark, and Harrison reaches for the 3rd time today.
And that's an infield hit and a tough play for Joe Roddy to make over at third. A long throw over there from the hot corner, and it just didn't put enough on it to get the speedy Harrison. So an infield hit, and the Copperheads have the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 5th.
And that'll bring up Blaine Krim for the Copperheads. He struck out in the 1st inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, eventually came around to score, and he slices one to Casserly at first. Casserly flips to Beachy, and they'll get the out at 2nd. So once again, Krim reaches on a fielder's choice.
Indeed, and just a tough play if you wanted to turn 2 there, but great job of getting the leadoff man, keep the guy out of scoring position. But Regan coming to the plate, and as you know, the Buffalo Bull with a 2 RBI double his last time up that really blew this game open.
Connor Regan, the righty. Jack Raines, the lefty. The first pitch of the at-bat is low and inside for ball 1. Connor Regan, you mentioned he went to Buffalo. Sadly, that program will no longer be a thing at Buffalo University. Their last year of baseball this past year. Regan will transfer to Youngstown State for his next season of baseball, but the Mid-American Conference is losing a team in Buffalo.
And that's a very similar situation that we had last year at Southern Ohio. They had a couple of guys from the University of North Dakota who were looking for a new home during the summer as their team had just been cut. And, tough to see Division I baseball programs getting cut here and there, but unfortunately, the funds are not unlimited, even in the highest level of college sports.
1 ball and 1 strike to Regan. And the pitch is low, almost bounced in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Blaine Krim stands at first base for Southern Ohio. The 2-1 pitch from Jack Raines. A curveball on the inside corner for strike 2. And Regan didn't like that call. Says something politely to the home plate umpire, Bryce McCullough. Regan, a catcher himself, may be like, hey, we haven't gotten that call tonight.
Well, that relationship between the catchers and the home plate umpire always an interesting one.
And the curveball gets Regan swinging. And he's still upset at the pitch before, but he'll go down on strikes. And there's 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th.
Strikeout number 4 of the day for Jack Rains in just an inning, or I guess that's 2 full innings pitched now, but Rains really working it with the punch outs, and that is 9 strikeouts on the day for Xenia Scouts pitching.
And that'll bring up Bryson Smith for the Copperheads. The first pitch to him is just low and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. 7-3, the Copperheads lead over the Xenia Scouts here in the top of the 5th. 2 down for Southern Ohio. Bryson Smith at the plate. He struck out in the 2nd inning, reached on an error in the 3rd inning, eventually came around to score. Now the 1-0. Smith grounds one towards Roddy at 3rd. Roddy will throw across the diamond. Casserly scoops it out of the ground, and that'll do it for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 5th. 7-3 is the Southern Ohio lead over Xenia. We'll see if the Scouts can get a couple runs back in the 6th. We'll be right back on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. Back here for the top of the 6th at Bob Wren Stadium here in Athens, Ohio. The Copperheads lead your Scouts 7-3 heading into the 6th inning. And now Dylan Lottenville takes a curveball on his front leg, and the Scouts have themselves a leadoff runner here in the 6th trying to build a comeback.
Quite a few hit by pitches in this one, Gabe. We've seen them on both sides, and like you said, the Scouts with the leadoff man aboard, and with Lottenville over at first, it's going to be the job of his.
And that's my fault. It was actually Jordan Lambert who got hit.
Well, now Lottenville's Hillsdale teammate, Chris Ackerman, to the plate.
And a swooping curveball in there for strike 1 on Ackerman. Chris flew out to center in the 2nd inning, singled, and came around to score in the 4th. Jordan Lambert stands on first base for the Scouts. Ackerman facing Jesse James in his inning of relief. The 0-1. Lambert takes off for second, and there's not even going to be a throw as the ball was in the dirt. And the Scouts have a runner in scoring position with nobody down here in the 6th. Ackerman, as a sophomore at Hillsdale this year, hit 191 in that lineup. 4 RBIs on the year at Hillsdale, and now he swings through a pitch right down the heart of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Chris Ackerman. Ackerman, the righty. Just trying to maybe move Lambert over to third. The 1-2 delivery from Jesse James. And Ackerman swings through a curveball below the knees. And there's one down here in the top of the sixth for the Scouts. And I believe that was James's first, yes, it was his first strikeout of the evening. And that'll bring up Ryan Park, the catcher for the Scouts. Park singled back in the second inning, walked in the fourth, so he's been aboard both times today. And now he takes a fastball on the outside edge for strike one.
And it's going to be big for the Scouts. You got a runner at second here with one out. You got to at least try to get one home. Runners have been stranded. At least two runners in the past 2 innings have been left on base, and it's going to be important. Execution is important, and it's up to Ryan Park to try to get this guy home right here.
The 0-1, and Park skies one towards center field. McFarland comes in and makes the grab, not near deep enough to move Jordan Lambert over to third, and there's two down here in the sixth. And that'll bring up Francisco Ondina for the Scouts. He flew out to the shortstop in the second inning. He walked in the fourth. Now the Scouts badly need a hit to try to bring in a run here. 7-3 Copperheads, top of the sixth, two down. Jordan Lambert stands on second base. And now James will step off the mound as Lambert was getting quite a lead at second. The shortstop, Justin Kirkpatrick, ran over to the bag. No throw. Now the first pitch to Ondina. James delivers. Lambert takes off for third, and he dives in head first. He is safe. So Jordan Lambert is 90 feet away.
And impressive wheels and stealing third. Normally a very risky move, but Jordan Lambert had him by a couple steps there, and the throw very high. If it had gotten past the third baseman Smith, that could have brought him home, but good job by Smith to keep that one in front of him.
Lambert pitched a good pitch to run on. It was a curveball low and away, and he made it easily, and now the second pitch to Ondina is a ball outside, 1-1. James will go from the windup now with Lambert on third. The 1-1 delivery. An off-speed pitch skied towards the third base line. Will it go out of play? It will not, and the third baseman, Bryson Smith, makes the grab. And once again, the Copperheads are out of an inning where the Scouts get the leadoff runner on. One hit, no damage done by the Scouts in the sixth. It's 7-3 Copperheads. We'll be right back on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. 7-3 is the Copperheads' lead over the Xenia Scouts as we head to the bottom of the 6th here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio, on the campus of Ohio University. Landon Williams into pitch for Xenia. Landon will be a sophomore from Oklahoma Wesleyan University. He was a regular middle inning reliever for the Eagles. Stands at 5'10", 175 pounds. Will try to get the job done here in the 6th, probably the 7th.
And Williams known for his very dangerous slider.
And his first pitch is a strike. Williams has that sidearm release as a righty. And when you go sidearm and get that slider in there, that pitch is filthy. Justin Kirkpatrick at the plate for the Copperheads. The 0-1 pitch, a swing and a miss from Kirkpatrick, 0-2. Kirkpatrick played his first season of Division I baseball this past year with the Ball State Cardinals. He played in 34 games, went 10 for 56 at the plate, only bat 179. And now he bloops one towards first base. It lands just foul and out of reach of Kyle Casserly. And the count stays at 0-2. Kirkpatrick went to Ball State from Vincennes University in Indiana. He hit .280 at Vincennes and set a single-season stolen base record with 29 in one season before transferring to Ball State. So if he gets on base, he has some speed. And now that 0-2 slider we were talking about just misses off the outside corner, 1-2. He hit .280 at Vincennes as well before transferring to Ball State. So the Division I level might have got to him a little this past year. And now he swings through a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Landon Williams gets his first strikeout of the year.
And Landon Williams very much in his comfort zone here in Xenia, playing for his pitching coach, or not his head pitching coach at Oklahoma Wesleyan, but an assistant pitching coach, and Corey Coobs is the head pitching coach here with the Xenia Scouts. And they actually made the drive together from Oklahoma to here. It's about a 10-hour drive, and Coobs has nothing but incredible things to say about this guy.
The first pitch to Tyler Sunken is that slider that gets in there for strike one. Sunken from Bowling Green hit 100 with the Falcons, 4 for 40 at the plate, but he ropes one into center field here. Ondina fields it on one hop, and Sunken is aboard for the second time today.
And Sunken, as you said, he hit 100, but last season in the Great Lakes League, a 283 guy. And, you know, there are some guys that can just make that switch from the metal bat league to the wood bat league. And Sunken already has been, you know, showing his ability today to get on base, drawing a walk, coming around to the score. And now with his first hit of the young season.
And Sunken, another one of those guys that comes from a community college. He played at Owens Community College in 2015, and he hit .379 there. And now the first pitch to McFarland, back to the top of the order of the Copperheads, is down and away, 1-0. 7-3 the Copperhead lead here in the bottom of the 6th. The Scouts let up 6 runs in the third. And that's really been it for Southern Ohio. They got 1 in the first as well. And now the runner's going to go. Park's throw is late, and Sunken is in there at second. Excuse me on that. I thought Sunken's hand might have came off the base, but he kept it on. And another stolen base by the Copperheads puts a runner in scoring position.
And takes off the double play ball.
McFarland at the plate. Williams takes the sign from the catcher, Park. And the righty deals the 1-1 pitch. McFarland awaits as a lefty, and now the slider is blooped into center field. Ondina fields it on one hop. He's going to make the throw from center. A good throw to the plate. Park blocks it and cannot get a tag. And an RBI single by Daniel McFarland gives the Copperheads their 8th run of the night.
And a very tough break for the Xenia Scouts. Odina threw an absolute missile to home plate. Ryan Park just not able to scoop it up, and Sunken, who quite frankly was overstepping his limits there, trying to come home there, but unfortunately for the Scouts, the risky move pays off, and the Copperheads extend their lead to 8-3.
And that'll bring up Justin Antonzik for the 4th time tonight. Antonzik watches a ball just below his knees, 1-0. 8-3, the Copperhead lead now on 9 hits for Southern Ohio. Justin Antonzik has one of those hits, an RBI single in the 3rd. He's also grounded out to first and struck out looking. The 1-0, Antonzik, a huge one-hopper toward Roddy at third base. He throws across the diamond, and you're not going to get Justin Antonzik. He flies down the first base line, and the Copperheads are in business with runners on the corners. An infield single for Antonzik, and just from playing with him in high school, as soon as I saw that ball go 20 feet in the air, I knew he was going to be safe. The kid has speed, and I would not be surprised if he goes and steals a base here with runners on the corners.
And that would be the possibility for the double steal at that point if you can you have speed in McFarland over at third at this point. Runners at the corners, and it's going to be the job of Williams to try to stop the bleeding here.
Antonzik will go right away, and Park lets that ball get by him. Not only does Antonzik get the second, a run scores, and it's 9-3 Copperheads.
And the woes continue. Not an inning to remember for old Ryan Park behind the plate. First not being able to scoop that one up, and then allowing the stolen base. And now a pass ball. And as this Copperhead lead continues to, become larger, the Scouts going to need a little bit more out of the tank in order to get themselves back into this one.
Williams regroups, takes a deep breath, and now the 1-0 pitch is fouled off behind the Copperhead dugout, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Josh Fuel at the plate for the Copperheads. Boy, he would really like to get something going. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts this evening. Williams takes the sign from Park. And now the 1-1 pitch sinks in there low and inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Josh Fuel, 12 home runs at Heartland Community College this past year. 340 down the lines here at Bob Wren. 380 to the gaps, 405 to dead center, and Fuel definitely has the power to take one out. And he fouls one off once again down the third baseline, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josh Fuel, I mentioned from Heartland Community College, will transfer to Indiana University Kokomo next year, and he will play in their first ever baseball season, the inaugural season for Indiana University of Komoko. And he will transfer there. The 2-2 to Fuel is low and away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And I would like to know what played into that decision for Fuel, because you go from Heartland Community College, where you just killed it in your sophomore season, 366 average, 63 RBIs, 17 doubles, 12 home runs, and Fuel goes down looking on a pitch on the outside corner. He is now 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts today.
And not the way you want to start your season if you're Josh Fuel, but, just 1 of 42. He's got plenty of opportunities to redeem himself, just as, Matt Harrison, who comes to the plate now on a 3 for 3 day, he could end up with the worst batting average on the team. But if today is any indication, that's not very likely.
And Tonzik on second for the Copperheads, a 9-3 lead for Southern Ohio over Xenia. And now the first pitch to Harrison is low and away. Ball 1. Williams trying to get out of a little jam. He's allowed 2 runs here in the 6th inning. And Tonzik stands on second. And Matt Harrison, the most dangerous hitter in this Copperhead lineup tonight, at the plate. The 1-0, and Harrison ropes one down the third baseline, but foul. Oh, that ball was rocketed off the bat. Just a strike, though, and it's 1-1 to Matt Harrison. Harrison regathers himself. Williams gets the sign from catcher Ryan Park. Won't even look at it, and Tonzik at second with 2 outs. And the 1-1 pitch is just below the knees for ball 2. Harrison, on his normal routine, he takes a step back and then one into the batter's box and just kind of waves his bat at Landon Williams until Williams gets set. The 2-1 pitch with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th is just outside for ball 3. 9-3 is the Copperheads' lead over the Scouts here in the bottom of the 6th at Bob Wren Stadium. A gorgeous night here in Athens, Ohio, as plenty of the crowd is still here. A good crowd up on the hill along the first baseline, and these bleachers are pretty filled as Harrison swings through an off-speed pitch that just kept going outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's going to be a big moment here for Landon Williams. Full count, runner in scoring position, and it's kind of make or break whether the Scouts are going to have a fighting chance to get back in this one, and they're just going to roll over and take this first game loss.
And Tonzik will take off. 3-2, 2 down. The payoff pitch from Williams. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Landon Williams ends up getting 3 strikeouts in the inning. But he allows 2 runs, and the Copperheads will take a 9-3 lead into the 7th. Andrew Alix will have the play-by-play for innings 7, 8, and 9 when we come back on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network.
Back at you here for the top of the 7th inning. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe Genovesi, the Scouts, trailing by a score of 9-3. Top of the order, and Ben Beachy here. And first pitch to Beachy. That one taken low and away, ball 1. The 1-0. And Ben lifts that one high in the air to right center field. That one's going to get almost over the head of the second baseman, Antonzik, but Justin Antonzik makes an acrobatic grab over the shoulder for out number 1. And Ben Beachy, who thought he might have had himself a bloop hit there into right center, ends up walking back into the dugout with a little bit of disappointment, but sometimes you just get outdone on the defensive side of the ball. So that's going to be out number 1 here. That's going to bring up Ange Bourgeois. First pitch to Bourgeois. That one in the dirt. Ball number 1. Bourgeois from Biola University. He is 0 for 3. He's 0 for 2 on the day. A couple of strikeouts. Hit by a pitch his last time up. He takes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball outside part of the plate. A called ball 2. That's a weird way to say it, isn't it? 2-0 the count. Bourgeois awaits, and he watches all the way there. 3 pitches, 3 balls, and it'd be interesting to see if Bourgeois gets the green light here. No green light needed. That one in the dirt, ball 4. So 4 pitches, 4 balls, and Ange Bourgeois is aboard here with 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. The Scouts looking for 6 runs to get themselves back into this game. And though that might seem like a tough task, the Copperheads have already done it today. They had 6 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. That accounts for the vast majority of their scoring today. Now Kyle Casserly to the plate with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Casserly from the left side. First pitch, low and in. Ball number 1. So 5 straight balls thrown by the pitcher, Jesse James. Kyle Casserly, he's 0 for 2 on the day. Strikeout, a ground out, drew a walk his last time up. And Casserly lifts that one high in the air into right. The right fielder, Harrison's going to call for it, get under it about 20 feet in front of the warning track and make the grab for out number 2. Mark it down as an F9 in your books. And now with 2 away, that's going to bring Joe Roddy to the plate. Roddy still looking for his first hit of his Great Lakes Collegiate Baseball career. For Roddy, it's been a couple flyouts and a ground out. 0 for 3 on the day for the 3rd baseman. First pitch. Joe watches low and away. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, but 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The runner at first is Ange Bourgeois. The Copperheads lead the Scouts by a score of 9-3. Jesse James looks to the catcher. He delivers. That one up and in, ball 2. So James having a tad bit of trouble finding the zone, and looks like some action going in the Copperheads bullpen. Can't see exactly who it is from the angle that we have here at the press box at Bob Wren Stadium. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that one in the dirt. Good block by the catcher, Reagan, who, as me and Gabe have been talking about throughout the night, he has had his work cut out for him, but let me tell you, he's done a pretty fantastic job. So 3-0. It'll be interesting to see if Bubba Cates gives Roddy the green light here. But if he gets something he can hit, Roddy would have the opportunity to blow one away. 3-0 pitch, and that one is taken way high, ball 4. So the Scouts, with runners at first and second, walks issued to Ange Bourgeois and Joe Roddy. And now it's going to bring Dylan Lottenville to the plate with an opportunity to have the Scouts try to move their way back into this game. Lottenville, he's 1 for 3 on the night. A single came around to score the first run of the game for the Xenia Scouts. Lottenville, the Hillsdale College Charger. First pitch, check swing. Did he go? Appeal to the umpire says he did. So as a little meeting on the mound, Lottenville behind in the count, 0-1. Lottenville, he came a pretty long way to play here in the Great Lakes League, the native of the state of Washington. Yes, the same state that has Seattle and Tacoma, and you get the gist. The Pacific Northwest. 0-1. That one in the dirt. Good block by the catcher, Reagan. He's going to even the count up, a ball and a strike here with 2 outs. The runner at second, Ange Bourgeois. The runner at first is Joey Roddy. Center field playing pretty regular depth. Infield at regular depth as well. Here's the pitch, and that one taken on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Moves the count, 2 balls and a strike. Jesse James looks to the catcher, Reagan. The pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. And I say strike 3, it's because the scoreboard here at Bob Wren Stadium was wrong about the count, so I apologize for that. So the Scouts with no runs on no hits and 2 men left aboard. We have reached the middle of the 7th inning here in Athens, Ohio. The Scouts still trailing the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 9-3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. So back here for the bottom of the 7th, and just a reminder that the Scouts are very much on social media. Follow us on Twitter at Xenia Scouts. Like us on Facebook at Xenia Scouts. You can follow me and Gabe on Twitter. I am at Andrew Alex Radio, and Gabe is at
Gabe Geno 13.
Gabe Geno 13. Landon Williams back out to the mound. First pitch, swung on and missed. It's Blaine Krim. Krim from Mississippi College. He is 0 for 3 on the day. He has reached on a couple of fielder's choices. First time he struck out looking. Nothing on the count. And that one is fouled out of play first base side. That goes right into like the Copperheads merchandise tent, leaving a couple interns scrambling like chickens with their heads cut off. But for the actual game, all that does is put Williams ahead in the count, 0-2. The righty Williams. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that one, just a piece of it, does get Blaine Krim. He's going to stay alive in this count, 0-2. An interesting first inning of work for Landon Williams. He allows 2 runs, but strikes out 3. And the Scouts have allowed 9 runs on the day. The strikeout has not been an issue for this Xenia pitching staff.
And I have a feeling that's what we might see often throughout the season for Landon Williams, especially because his sidearm release is so good that he's going to K a lot of batters. But if someone can tee it up, he's going to get hit fairly often.
And Williams delivers the 0-2 pitch on what I thought could have been strikeout number 4 there, but the home plate umpire, Bryce McCullough, not agreeing with my assessment, moves the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Williams looks to the catcher, Ryan Park. He sets and delivers. That one in there for a call, strike 3. He got him looking. So Landon Williams has recorded 4 outs in his first appearance here in the Great Lakes Collegiate League. And the New Mexico native has gotten all 4 of those outs via the K. So a couple swinging, a couple looking for Williams. And he's going to face Connor Reagan with 1 out here. Reagan, 1 for 3 on the day. 2 RBI double being the highlight of it. That came back in the 3rd inning. Since then, a strikeout and a ground out to short his first time up. Ooh, sorry about that. 1-0 the count. Williams finds the zone that time. A called strike. Evens up the count. Ball and a strike here with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Your Scouts trailing by a score of 9-3. The sun has set here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio. 1-1 pitch. That one in at the knees, ball 2. And Gabe, have you ever met anyone from New Mexico before you met Landon Williams? Be honest with me.
No, just Landon Williams.
Yeah, me too. I should let him know that. He's the lone New Mexican that I have ever encountered in my life. 2-1 pitch. Well, that one low and outside, so Williams now behind in this count to Connor Reagan, 3-1. How many people even are in New Mexico?
That is a fact that I do not know.
I need a specific number. Can we get a population? The 3-1 pitch. And that one grounded back at Williams off his glove. In comes Roddy. Roddy's going to try to throw over to first. In time. Wow. Joe Roddy comes in on the slow roller off of the glove of Landon Williams, makes the athletic throw off balance over to first, just getting the base runner Connor Reagan over there, and that is going to be out number 2. And Joe Roddy, who's one of the bigger guys you'll see over at that third base position, still showing that he is Joby nimble, Joby quick over there. And here's your fact of the day. There are 2.09 million people that live in New Mexico.
As of 2015.
As of 2015. So we don't know how many currently live there, but between me and Gabe, we know a combined 1. So if Landon Williams' parents are listening right now, we'd love to meet you. We could triple the amount of people that we know from New Mexico. First pitch here with 2 outs to Bryson Smith taking on the outside part of the plate, ball 1. A strikeout and a very complicated ground out, but the 1-0 pitch fouled down the third base line. Evens up the count of ball and strike here. Bryson Smith, the batter, he is 0 for 3 on the day. He reached on an error, however, for what that is worth. I believe that was the error on the throw from Lozano over to first that allowed that inning to continue, and what ended up being the real inning that if that inning didn't happen, the Scouts would be winning right now. True story. At least be tied. It would be tied. In the 6-run bottom of the 3rd. So 2 balls and a strike now to count. With 2 away, here's the pitch, and that one fouled straight back into the screen to even the count up 2-2. The Scouts are going to send Jordan Lambert, Chris Ackerman, and Ryan Park to the plate in the top half of the 8th. Assuming that no substitutions are made by the great mind of Bubba Cates. 2-2 pitch. And that one is lifted in the air towards right field. Looks like it's going to drop in front of Lottenville, and it will. Lottenville lets it get under his glove, and now the runner is advancing over to second, and he will do so by a couple steps. So, unfortunately, a ball that Lottenville may have misplayed in right off the bat, allowing that one to drop, and then unfortunately allowing it to get under the glove turns a third out, maybe a single, into a runner in scoring position for these Copperheads, Gabe.
And that's what I was going to say. I don't think you could score that in error because Lottenville.
You never touched it, right?
Lottenville. I mean, it just landed in front of him. You're right. He thought it was going to be a little deeper. He took quite a few steps back and then kind of stumbled coming forward, but then it went under his glove. So I think it would be a single, and then the runner advances to second.
Precisely. If I was the official scorekeeper, I would rule it a single with the advance. So it was a single with the advance. But first pitch to Justin Kirkpatrick. Swung on and missed. Kirkpatrick, he has struck out a couple times today. He was the first strikeout victim of Landon Williams back in the 6th. First or 0-1 pitch. That one's taken low. Evens up the count. Ball and strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Copperheads lead the Scouts by a score of 9-3. The runner at second is Bryson Smith. Williams, he looks to the catcher, Ryan Park. Looks back to second. Now he delivers. And that one finds the zone, a called strike 2. Williams 1 strike away from getting him out of this 7th inning unscathed. Anything in the gap could score. Bryson Smith. Pitch. Very close, but no cigar, says home plate umpire Bryce McCullough. Evens the count up. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs, and a runner at second here. Williams from NAIA powerhouse Oklahoma Baptist. The 2-2 pitch. Just low, and we're going to go full count here. Williams, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Scouts. Jorge Lozano started. Jack Raines came in relief. And now Landon Williams, the New Mexican. 3-2. And that one's grounded over towards short. Ben Beachy peels it on one hop, rockets it over to first in time for out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 7th. And now I'm going to turn it over to Gabe Genovesi, who has some out-of-town scores for us. Gabe?
Yeah, top of the 7th, the Mariners lead the Hamilton Joes 10-3. In the top of the 8th, the Locos, the Lima Locos, up on the Ironman of Lorain County 7-0. In the bottom of the 8th, the Leprechauns, the Irish Hills Leprechauns, up 5-3 on the Grand River Loggers. That's in the Northern Division, as the Great Lakes League has added that 3rd division this year. You know our score here, 9-3 Copperheads over the Scouts. The Galleon Graders are up 6-2 on the Lincoln County Settlers, and the Clippers lead 3-2 over the St. Clair Green Giants in Canada. And that'll do it for your Great Lakes League scoreboard.
The Great Lakes League, equivalent to the National Basketball Association. Also a game going on in the National Basketball Association. And here's a fun fact for you. The last time that I was at this field, an NBA, well, not the last time I was at this field, but one of the last times I was at this field, an NBA Finals came to a close as the Cavaliers won Game 7 over the Golden State Warriors last season, 2016. There is also a chance that I will be in Athens, Ohio tonight, and the NBA Finals ends again, but that will not be to the avail of the Cleveland faithful this year if the Finals ends tonight. But right now there is 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in the first quarter. The Cavaliers lead the Golden State Warriors by a score of 34-25. And Gabe, do you think that LeBron has it in the tank to squeak out at least one?
I do. That's always, I personally thought this series was going to go 7. I had no flipping clue that it was going to be 3-0 Warriors. I don't think anyone did.
I mean, there are haters out there that might have been able to.
I saw a few Warriors in 5, but I didn't see any sweeps.
I was thinking I wouldn't have called it a sweep, and people who, by the way, like you get your people on ESPN who just come in and say, "Oh, I told you so. I told you so. It's 3-0 Warriors." And I say, "Well, you know what? The Cavaliers were in control of the game up until about Kevin Durant hitting that three. I mean, they had a 7-point lead with 2 minutes left. It just collapsed. They were. It's not as if they weren't competitive, but we'll get to talk about basketball a little bit more. Maybe we'll have a couple more opportunities to do so. But back to baseball now, and it's going to be Jordan Lambert to the plate. Lambert, he is 1 for 2 today, also been hit by a pitch, and he takes first pitch into center field, going back to center fielder McFarland. He's going to come under it and make the grab for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And we might have a new pitcher in there. We might have gotten distracted and not noticed. And this is true. The pitcher is Hunter Sexton. Sexton from Marshall University. The righty. Sexton had a 7.6 ERA in 24 appearances, posting a 4-1 record. That's over 34 1/3 innings pitched. He struck out 36 and walked 23. So Chris Ackerman to the plate now. He takes first pitch in there for a called strike. Ackerman, 1 for 3 on the day. He singled, came around to score back in the 3rd. A strikeout and a flyout on top of that. He swings, gets a piece of that one, but finds himself behind in this count. 0-2 here. We are in the top of the 8th inning. The Scouts trailing the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 9-3. Andrew Alix alongside Gabe Genovesi. 0-2. That one taken low. Good eye by Ackerman. Ackerman, the designated hitter tonight. He is a catcher by trade. Splitting time this summer with Ryan Park and his other catcher at Hillsdale, Donald Ring. Donald, a former Xenia Scout himself, part of that 2016 team. But Ackerman watches 1-2 way high. Evens up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that one's in there for a called strike 3. Fastball outside of the plate gets Ackerman looking. So Hunter Sexton has faced 2 batters and sent 2 back into the dugout. And now with 2 down, Ryan Park to the plate. Park fouls the first pitch back into the screen. Behind the count, 0-1. Park is 1 for 3 on the day. Check that, 1 for 2. He got hit by a pitch as well. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. Evens up the count, a ball and a strike. With 2 outs here at the top of the 8th, the Scouts trailing by a score of 9-3. Here's the 1-1. And Park watches that one low and outside. Count moves 2-1. Pitch, way high. And Ryan Park finds himself in a hitter's count. Francisco Ondina awaits on deck. If Ryan Park can find a way to extend this inning, 3-1 pitch, and Ryan watches high, ball 4. And the Scouts have a man aboard here with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. And the Scouts have not been having issues getting runners on base. I will tell you that much. It has been the act of getting them to come home that has been the issue. But Francisco Ondina trying to extend this inning and give the Scouts a sign of life here. He watches upstairs, though. First pitch, ball 1. And I'm looking at this game. Does that say Connor Calorie as an assistant coach?
Yes.
Is that Connor Calorie of the 2016 Southern Ohio Copperheads, the player?
Yes, he just finished his senior season. Actually, I don't know if he's graduated from Ohio. He just finished his season up with the Bobcats a little bit ago.
Oh, I see. So, an Ohio Bobcat legend and former Copperhead who was quite an effective player last year in the Great Lakes League, I must say. Leadoff guy for the 2016 Copperhead squad. 1-0 pitch to Andina. That one upstairs, ball 2. It looks like this pitcher, Hunter Sexton, having a little bit of trouble finding the zone. The runner at first is Ryan Park. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. The Scouts, they trailed by 6. Sexton, the 2-0 pitch. And that one off the plate. 3 balls, no strikes, and I would be quite surprised if Andina swung at anything, even if it was smack dab in the middle here. 3-0. Pickoff move actually over to first is not going to be in time.
And Connor Callery did just graduate from Ohio University, so that is why he's an assistant. He is done with his collegiate baseball career.
Taking the Corey Coobs route. 3-0, get me across. Pitch does just that. Finds the lower inside part of the zone. A called strike moves the count. 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Andina, he bats from the left side. And he watches ball 4. So the Scouts with runners at first and second now, and it's going to be back to the top of the order with Ben Beachy. And the Scouts would be hard-pressed to at least get one of these guys home for nothing but a moral victory here. It looks like there's going to be a meeting at the mound, and it'll be interesting to see whether they take the ball or if this is just a little motivational speech here, Gabe. What do you think the Copperheads are going to do here?
I don't think that they're going to pull him. I think Hunter Sexton will stay in the pitch, especially with 2 outs in a 9-3 game. If you're head coach,
that would be a vote of no confidence there.
Yeah, if you're head coach Phil Butler, there's no way you want to waste another arm tonight.
Phil Butler, very experienced. We saw him last year.
Very, very experienced head coaches. Phil Butler. He plenty of time as a player. He was with the Copperheads for the first time last season. They went 20-22. He even played professionally in the Frontier League with the Southern Illinois Miners for 3 years before returning to his alma mater, Shawnee State, and coaching.
And here's your tidbit about the Frontier League. Former Xenia Scouts co-general manager and assistant coach Taylor Hargrove, better known as T-Grove, also played some time in the Frontier League. But runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. The Scouts trail by 6. The batter, Ben Medici. First pitch to Ben. And he pops that one foul. Going to fly out of play on the first base side. Present for a fan if that doesn't hop into the forest like it did. So nothing in him on the count. Beachy singled his first time up. Strikeout and a flyout. And a walk. So call him 1 for 3 on the day. I think he has a 500 on base percentage on the very, very young season. Another hit here would be a sign of life for the Xenia Scouts offense. 0-1, and he grounds that one over towards second. A slow roller. The second baseman, Antonzik, is going to get there, and the speedy Beachy just does not get there in time. Throw over to first in time. Mark it down as a 4-3 in your books. And that is going to do it for the Scouts in the top half of the 8th inning. No runs on no hits and 2 men stranded. We have reached the middle of the 8th inning. Your Xenia Scouts trailed the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of 9-3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. You are listening to Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. We go into the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Andrew Alix and Gabe Genovesi. And Ty Sumpkin going to lead things off for the Southern Ohio Copperheads here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Copperheads with a 9-3 lead over your Xenia Scouts. Sunken, he has come around to score a couple times today. Call him 1 for 2 on the day. A single came around to score. He came around to score on a walk. He also struck out swinging. The Scouts have had a kind of a mixed bag of a day. One really bad inning in the bottom of the third. A 6-run frame for the Southern Ohio Copperheads is the difference in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. One pitch, and that one is looped into left field. That one's going to drop for a base hit, so Ty Sunken has himself his second hit of the day. And the Copperheads with the leadoff man aboard as they go back to the top of the order with Daniel McFarland. So Daniel McFarland back to the plate, and Daniel McFarland's had himself quite a nice day in this opening game of the Great Lakes League season. He has a couple singles, also hit by a pitch, scored a pair of runs. He bats with 1 on and nobody out here in the bottom half of this 8th inning. First pitch, and that's a grounder over towards second base. They're going to go to second for 1, to throw on to first for 2. It's way out of play, and that one is going to sail into the Xenia Scout dugout and allow the runner at first, Daniel McFarland, to advance over to second because that ball was out of play. So they get the lead runner, but really to no avail. It's as if they only got the runner at first. An essential fielder's choice and another error in the field for the Xenia Scouts. That is error number 4 of the day for your Xenia team. So 1 away and a runner in scoring position in Daniel McFarland at second. Justin Antonzik to the plate. Antonzik, 2 for 3 on the day. A couple of singles, a stolen base. He has showed off that speed. He takes first pitch in there for a called strike 1, so 0-1 with 1 out here. The runner at second, McFarland. Oh, 1. And that one, a chopper over towards short, deep in the hole, plays it Benevici. Throw over to first, scooped out of the dirt by Casserly in time. Out number 2. Casserly doing a good job over there at first today and scooping those balls out of the dirt and preventing what could have been more errors for Xenia in the field. And McFarland advancing over to third on that one, so the 10th run of the game just 90 feet away for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Josh Fuel, the batter. Now with 2 away and a runner at third. First pitch. Oh, they're going to call a balk. A balk. So 2 runs of the 13 runs scored in this game will have been scored on the balk. And that extends the Southern Ohio lead to 10-3. And Gabe, your first game in the Great Lakes League, did you expect there to be this many balks?
I thought I might see a couple balks all year.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we are at 2 tonight. And I didn't even see that one either.
That ball hit in the air to left and coming under it, Jordan Lambert makes the grab. Out number 3, but 1 run on 1 hit. Nobody left aboard for Southern Ohio in the bottom of the 8th. We have played 8 innings of baseball, and the Southern Ohio Copperheads lead Xenia Scouts by a score of 10-3. The Scouts are going to have 1 more shot at it in the top of the 9th. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Xenia Scouts Baseball on the Xenia Scouts Radio Network. And we are back here in the top of the ninth inning. It's Andrew Alix and Gabe Genovesi in Athens, Ohio. The Scouts with one more shot at it, one more frame to score 7 runs. They trail this one by a score of 10-3. A reliever in the game looking to close this one out. He goes by the name of Brent Van Sant. Van Sant is the 6'9". Yes, you heard me correctly. 6'9", like the same height as LeBron James. Righty out of Western Kentucky University. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter to lead things off for the Scouts here. It looks like Aaron Takas coming in for Ange Bourgeois. Takas, who hit above 400 at Korean University in Pennsylvania, getting his first at-bat of his Great Lakes League career. So Takas, he bats from the left side of the plate against the righty Van Sant. The first pitch. That one taken off the plate, or should I say on the outside part of the plate for a called strike one. 0-1 in the dirt. Good block there by the catcher, Reagan. He was at the count of ball and strike. He's had his work cut out for him, hasn't he, Gabe?
He's made some good plays behind the plate. He's active. He's mobile behind the plate. A few great blocks. He did let one get past him that scored a run for the Scouts.
Off-speed pitch swung on and missed by Takas. He falls behind in this count of ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. And that one taken on the outside, evens up the count 2-2.
And the one thing I like right now from the Scouts, everyone in that dugout is standing right now. Down 7, they don't care. They're in the game.
Takas fouls that one right back over us here in the press box, straight away behind the home plate. And he's going to stay in this count at 2-2. Van Sant working rather quickly here. The 2-2 pitch. And check swing. Did he go? They're going to say he did. Drop their strike throw over to first in there in plenty of time. And out number 1. So Aaron Takas, his first trip to the plate of his Great Lakes League career. A swinging strikeout. And the Scouts 2 outs away. We might have another pinch hitter here. And that we do. It's Caden Owens. Owens, who just arrived last night from Oral Roberts University. First pitch, and Owens lines that one into right field, and that one's going to drop at the warning track. Rounding first and heading to second is Caden Owens. He's got the speed, and he is going to get to second base standing. So Caden Owens starting off his Xenia Scout career in style, a stand-up double, and the Scouts have a runner in scoring position. And it looks like we're going to get everyone involved in the game, because it looks like Donald Ring is going to come in and hit for Joey Roddy.
And Owens didn't waste any time there. First pitch, a rocket down the line. That's a way to start your season. Get a little momentum. Maybe he's in the lineup tomorrow.
Oh, I would bet that you might see Bubba Cates mix it up and really just, it's been a week of training camp. You like to see what you got. But coming to the plate, we have a 2016 Southern Division champion, Xenia Scout, in Donald Ring coming to the plate. Donald Ring, very impressive from behind the plate last season. Struggled at the plate hitting around, I believe it was like 210 or something like that. But
207 to be exact.
207 to be exact. Wow, that was a good estimate by me. I can remember things. But Donald came into spring ball at Division II Hillsdale College and hit 17 home runs, setting the Hillsdale College school record. So I have high expectations for him, and I have let him know that. First pitch to Donald Ring, taken off the plate, ball 1. Ring, like we said, the Hillsdale College Charger, native of Michigan. An alumni of the prestigious Brother Rice Academy. And he watches the 1-0 pitch in the dirt outside part of the plate. Ball number 2. Donald Ring. He bats from the left side. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And Don watches on the inside. So 3 pitches to Don, 3 balls. Maybe they heard that he hit 17 home runs. Maybe he's just getting the intentional walk game. What do you think?
And like a strategy thing.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah.
I mean, it could be. I mean, down, up 10-3. You don't want to take any chances. 3 balls, no strikes. Brett Van Sant, he sets and delivers, and that one is up, and that one is in, and 4 pitches, 4 balls to Donald Ring, who has a perfect on-base percentage on the year. So Caden Owens double. Donald Ring walked, and the Scouts have ducks on the pond. And it is going to be Dylan Lottenville, Donald Ring's Hillsdale Charger teammate, to the plate as he tries to keep this Scouts rally going here in the top of the 9th inning, with the Scouts trailing by 7 runs here to the Southern Ohio Copperheads. First pitch to Lottenville. That one finds the zone, a called strike, so nothing in 1 the count. Caden Owens at second. Donald Ring at first. Owens dancing. That ball taken on the inside. Evens the count of a ball and a strike. Some fan didn't like that call. I mean, I thought that was pretty inside. I don't know what we're questioning there. I don't know. I probably question calls even less close than that sometimes too. Upstairs, ball 2. So Brett Van Sant struggling to find the zone here. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. The Scouts have runners at first and second. It is Caden Owens on second, Donald Ring on first. The batter, Dylan Lottenville. He has 1 hit, 1 run. He is 1 for 4. And he takes on the inside. And he looks frustrated just because everything's coming way inside. And, you know, the angle that you're taking when someone who is 6'9" is pitching to you, that is a difficult thing to look at. It's like Randy. Well, how tall was Randy Johnson? Pretty tall. I mean, I can't give you an exact number, but that must have been scary too. Also, he was throwing like 100 miles an hour. And that looked like it was inside as well. But the home plate umpire, Bryce McCullough, check that, calls that a strike. So the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Dylan Lottenville. The pitcher is Brett Van Sant. He sets, delivers, and Lottenville foul tips that one right down to the plate. We're going to do 3-2 all over again.
And the catcher, Regan, came up hobbling again a little. That's 4 times we've had to stop play now because a catcher or an umpire has gotten hit behind the plate.
I agree with what you're saying because that is factually true. We are trying to find out Randy Johnson's height. Three-two pitch again. Lottenville fouls that one right back to the screen. So Randy Johnson, according to the always credible website, wikipedia.org, stood at 6'10" or 2.08 meters if you're on the metric system. So that must have been scary. He hit a bird and killed a bird once. You ever seen that video game?
I have seen that video.
I'm waiting for this. I wonder how many baseball games I'll have to broadcast before I see that happen. Probably unlimited. Runners go. 3-2, taken up and away. Ball 4. The bases are loaded for your Xenia Scouts. And with Jordan Lambert coming to the plate, a home run here would make it just a 3-run game. Well, let me tell you, it makes me sound like I'm being sarcastic, but stranger things have happened. I have seen the Scouts score 7 runs in 1 inning before. And it has happened at this ballpark in a late inning game, and the Scouts ended up coming back to win. It ain't over till it's over. As Bubba always says to me, what are the chances? And I say 1 in a million, and he goes, so you're telling me there's a chance. First pitch to Jordan Lambert, rolls foul down the first base line. Lambert, pretty good day so far. 1 for 3. Got hit by a pitch as well. A lot of hit by pitches. I feel like that's in everyone's stat line that I've mentioned. It's the secret hit by pitch. Caden Owens at third, Donald Ring at second, Dylan Lottenville over at first. The count 0-1 to Jordan Lambert. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. He went fishing there. And Lambert finds himself behind in this count, 0-2.
And I will say this, when a pitcher is struggling, the one thing he wants the batter to do is swing the bat. That pitch was out of the zone as well, and Van Sant has been struggling. Lambert helped him out there.
0-2. That one in the dirt, and that's going to get past the catcher, Reagan. Coming home to score is Caden Owens. And Reagan, who we talk about how he's done such a great job of making sure nothing's gotten past him, has actually allowed 2 balls to get past him, and both resulting in runs. But, I mean, I'm still going to give the man credit. Work cut out for him. But that puts a run on the board for the Xenia Scouts. And they have runners at second and third. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jordan Lambert. Ring at third. Lottenville at second. Van Zandt, he looks to the catcher. He sets and delivers. And that one, chopper in the gap past the second baseman. Coming home to score is Donald Ring. And heading over to second is Jordan Lambert. He's going to extend a single into a double. So an RBI single off the bat of Jordan Lambert scores Donald Ring. And the Scouts have put 2 runs on the board here in this top of the 9th inning. And I think it speaks to the character of this team, Gabe, that they did not roll over, and they will not roll over as Chris Ackerman comes to the plate with a chance to possibly bring another 2 runs home with anything in the gap.
Yep, and at the very beginning of this inning, like I said, they were all up and off the bench and acting like this was a 1-run ball game. And now all of a sudden, you put a couple on and a couple on the board, and you got a couple on the bases still. And with a hit here, Ackerman can make this a 3-run ball game.
So Ackerman takes first pitch in there for a called strike. Nothing in 1 the count. Dylan Lottenville at third. Jordan Lambert at second. Ackerman bats from the right side against the right-handed pitcher, Brett Van Zandt. 0-1 pitch. That one, little chin music there, up and in, evens the count up, a ball and a strike. Chris, he has a 1-for-4 day thus far. He singled and ended up coming home to score. That was back in the 4th inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hey, Chris hits that high in the air, sky high on the infield. Coming in is the third baseman, and he will not make the grab. An error from the third baseman, Bryson Smith, on a ball that he must have just lost in the lights. And what looked like a easy out number 2 puts Chris Ackerman aboard, and the Scouts now with the bases loaded. That's going to bring Ryan Park to the plate. Park has a hit today. A couple of hits, actually, right? He's 2 for 3. First pitch, and he hits that one into right field. A base hit. Coming home to score is going to be Dylan Lottenville, and add another run to the board. The Scouts will not go down easy. An RBI single off the bat of Ryan Park makes it a 10-6 game.
And that is actually Park's second hit today, but he's reached another 2 times on 2 walks. So he's reached 4 or 5 times tonight.
And an impressive night for the young man from Fullerton, California. And now it's going to be up to Francisco Undina to keep this one going. Ben Beachy awaits in the on-deck circle. And if Beachy can come to the plate, barring a double play here, the Scouts will have batted through here in the top of the 9th inning. 10-6 your score. The base is loaded. Jordan Lambert at third. First pitch. That one upper outside part of the plate. A called strike 1. It's Jordan Lambert at third, Chris Ackerman at second, and Ryan Park at first here. The Scouts with the tying man aboard. First pitch, or 0-1 pitch, and that one taken up and away. Evens up the count of ball and a strike here with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Copperheads 10, Scouts 6. A home run would tie the game. A double play would end it. The pitch. And Francisco watches that one off the plate. He's ahead in this count 2-1. And Gabe, the approach here has been carefully taking your pitches and choosing your pitches like we saw Caden Owens do when he started this rally off with a electrifying double. 2-1. And that one taken off the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. And Brett Van Zant has had trouble finding the zone. So 3 balls and a strike. Brett Van Zant versus Francisco Ondina. The 3-1 pitch. And that one is taken upstairs, ball 4. And a bases loaded walk is going to bring home Jordan Lambert. And just like that, the tying man is at first for the Xenia Scouts. And we are back at the top of the order. The score, 10-7 now. The Scouts, just a never say die attitude here. And great plate discipline, Gabe, is giving them a second shot at life in this game.
You got the tying run on first base. You got the go-ahead run up at the plate in Ben Beachy. And now we're going to have a pitching change here in the 9th.
So Brett Van Zant, in his first opportunity to try to be a closer for this Copperheads team, probably not the outing he was looking for, and it looks like a pitching change here, and it is going to be if I'm not mistaken, Gabe, you see that as number 9? Is that Blaine Krim? Blaine Krim. Blaine Krim, who played first base for the majority of this game. And what do you got?
And surprisingly, and I found it as a shock too, because he's listed as an infielder. But Krim has made 12 college appearances on the mound for Mississippi College. 10 of them were his freshman year. He only made 2 appearances last year. Overall, in the 2 years combined, he's pitched 37 innings. He's got a 7.05 ERA.
Well, he is in. And we will use this time to maybe update you on the out-of-town scoreboard. I don't really feel like this is an appropriate time to end it. But our rivals, the Hamilton Jones, they had some trouble today in their home opener against the Grand Lake Mariners. It is the bottom of the 9th, and they are trailing by a score of 11-3. The Licking County Settlers also fell to the Galilean Graders by a score of 8-2. The Lima Locos took care of business against the Lorain County Ironmen, winning by a score of 8-0. The St. Clair Green Giants of Canada defeated the Muskegon Clippers by a score of 4-3. The Irish Hills Leprechauns beat the Grand River Loggers by a score of 6-4. And we are in the top of the 9th. The bases are loaded, and the Xenia Scouts, us, are trailing the Southern Ohio Copperheads by a score of now 10-7. And it will be the top of the order with Ben Beachy. So Ben Beachy to the plate. It's Chris Ackerman at third. Ryan Park at second, and Francisco Ondina at first. Beachy steps in. He awaits the first pitch. First pitch. Beachy grounds that one back to the pitcher. He's going to go home for 1, the throw to first for 2. Not in time. So the speed of Ben Beachy able to keep this game going, but called a fielder's choice, getting Chris Ackerman out at home on the force. And it will be Caden Owens. Oh, no, check that. Aaron Takas.
Takas up, yep.
And that will be the Scouts' last hope here in this game. Takas struck out for out number 1 of this inning. But we know Aaron Takas has gotten hits before, batting above 400 in his collegiate season this spring. He bats with the bases loaded and 2 outs here. First pitch, Takas watches high, ball 1. A decent-sized crowd here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens. And Takas takes high again, ball number 2. If Takas can get on, it'll be Caden Owens who waits on deck Owens doubled already this inning. 2-0. And Takis watches outside. The count goes 3-0. So good plate discipline by Takis. And one more. Pitch taken on the outside will bring another one home. And Aaron Takis takes all the way. 4 pitches, 4 balls. Ryan Park comes in on the bases loaded walk. And now the Scouts with the tying run in scoring position. And Caden Owens to the plate. So we say never say die in baseball. It's not over till it's over. And now Caden Owens to the plate. The base is still loaded. First pitch to Owens. That one outside part of the plate. A called strike one. Owens 1 for 1 on the day with a double. The native of Jenks, Oklahoma. He awaits the 0-1. And he fouls that one straight back, just missing. But the Scouts now down to their final strike. Owens behind in this count, 0-2. Frankie Ondina is at third. The 0-2 pitch, and that one taken way outside. And the catcher, Reagan, really had his work cut out for him. He had to dive to stop that one from going to the backstop and allowing another run to come home. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. The Scouts have plated 5 already. The bases are loaded. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count with 2 away. He sets, delivers, and that one is taken high and evens up the count at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. He sets, delivers, and that one grounded in the hole. The second baseman, Antonzik, throws on over to first in time. And that's going to be all she wrote tonight. The Scouts, a 5-run rally in the top of the 9th, showing signs of life. But ultimately, it would not be enough. The final score, the Southern Ohio Copperheads 10. Your Xenia Scouts 8. The Copperheads with 10 runs on 12 hits and 2 errors. The Scouts with 8 runs on 8 hits and 4 errors. The winning pitcher is going to be probably going to be the starting pitcher, right? Tyler Schoff.
Yeah, Schoaf never lost the lead.
Yeah. The winning pitcher is going to be Tyler Schoaf. The losing pitcher is going to be Jorge Lozano. He is going to be 0-1 on the season. And I believe that Blaine Krim is going to get a save there, if I'm not mistaken. So your Scouts drop their season opener, but don't worry, folks. They will be back in action tomorrow at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time at Grady's Field in beautiful Xenia, Ohio, as they will take on these very same Southern Ohio Copperheads. Gabe, what are your thoughts following this opening night?
All I can say is way to fight. The Scouts never gave up tonight. Down 7 going into the 9th. You get 5 in the top of the 9th. You got bases loaded. And I don't know if it was strategic or just because we were down by 7 and Bubba Cates wanted to get in some other guys. But he brings in Caden Owens, who rips a double to start the rally. Then he brings in Donald Ring, who gets a walk. Everybody was very patient in that 9th inning. And I don't know if it was because of their mindset was, hey, this guy on the mound doesn't pitch too often. Let's be patient, get our pitch. I think that should be the mindset throughout the whole season, throughout every inning, every at-bat. I think the Scouts have to be a little more patient at the plate and get the timely hits that they need to get. They left, by my count here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then bases loaded, and then 14 runners on base tonight.
Yeah.
And I know a few of those were 2 outs, and you draw a couple 2-out walks, and you didn't really have anything going. But when you leave 14 runners on base, it means you had opportunities. And the Scouts couldn't take advantage of those opportunities tonight. And I think they will throughout the years. We've got a talented ball club here.
Absolutely. And you look at the number 4 errors, and that is something that we saw just last year in this very same opening game, this very same opening series with Southern Ohio. The Scouts were plagued with errors, and they ended up allowing a lot of runs. But I think that, the bad first outing is not something that we should expect to see going forward from Jorge Lozano. We stretched him farther than he had been stretched in months. And quite frankly, he, after pitching 9 1/3 innings all season, Stretching him to 60 pitches in the first outing was a lot. 4 errors. That's just a product. Hopefully that's just a product of these guys not having played together yet. There's not that chemistry
A little rust
in the field, but there was a lot of upside. We saw everyone get involved. Like you said, the top of the 9th rally was something that shows a lot about the character of this ball club. It shows a lot about what I've seen last year and going into this year of the culture that Bubba Cates creates in that locker room of going 100% all the time, no matter if you're winning by 10 or losing by 10, or whether it's a tie game, whether it's the championship, or whether we've been eliminated 10 games ago. And I think that going forward, this Scouts ball club is going to be it's going to be a fun team to watch going forward. But that's going to do it for us tonight here at Bob Wren Stadium in beautiful Athens. Make sure to tune into the Xenia Scouts Radio Network tomorrow night at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time as Scouts take on the Copperheads. Yet again, Michael Pineda O'Donnell of Southern New Hampshire University slated to take the mound. And if he is as good of a pitcher as he is a guy, from what we talked to him so far, it should be interesting. So I am Andrew Alix. He is Gabe Genovesi. From us and the entire Xenia Scouts family, we thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you have a pleasant evening, and God bless.